From Middletown, Delaware, welcome for tonight's Class 3A high school football game between the St. George's Hawks, 1-1 from District 2 in 3A, and the defending District 1 champs from 3A, the Appo Jags, also coming in here tonight with a record of 1-1. This game will be played in the low 60s under cloudy skies and double-digit winds as Ophelia is moving up the coastline and plans to drop a lot of rain on the Delmarva Peninsula the entire weekend right into Monday. I'm Glenn Frazier with Pat Garriantes, Nick Halliday producing, Glenn Hiller on camera. You know, these two met twice last year, Pat. The Jags snapped a 6-game losing streak to the Hawks with a 21-7 win in regular season, but the Hawks then turned the tables in the playoffs with a 13-7 win. Let me bring in Pat Garriantes. And, buddy, you called last week's game, Dover and Appo. What did you see from the Jags and how they can regroup and stay in this game, maybe get a win tonight?
Absolutely, Glenn. Appreciate it. And welcome back to you, my friend. It feels good to have you back in the booth here for the first game here of 2023. But, yes, the Jaguars, they did some things last week on unfortunate circumstances. They're all-world running back, really. Daniel McConomy left early, which has been confirmed by himself on Twitter as a collarbone or shoulders injury.
Yeah.
He will miss the remainder of the season, which is extremely unfortunate. So they had to adjust early. From a heavy run game or a good mix of run-pass, they brought in a fellow senior in Jaden Glover. He ran the ball hard, had a couple of nice runs to kind of spring them against a tough Dover team. But this team's got to now transition into more of a pass, a first type team with sophomore quarterback Greg Nielsen as well as wide receivers Noah Hoff, Dylan Griffith. You saw a little bit of Dominic Montabell out there as well as Elite Carter and Francis Drummond. So it's a team that they struggled against a really, really, really potent Dover offense. But they've kind of reorganized themselves from what we've seen the last few years as a team that can also throw the football a little bit.
On the other side of things, Pat, veteran coach John Wilson, and by the way, we had him and some of his players on our weekly show Wednesday night from Buffalo Wild Wings, as well as Paul Frame, the wide receivers coach, and some players from Appo. But Coach Wilson has the Hawks coming in at 1-1. They had a nice 20-9 win over St. Mark's. Followed that with a tough 3-point loss, 2017 to Hodson Tech. They like to pound the ball with Cam Montgomery. We're going to see a steady diet of him tonight.
Yeah, he's unbelievable. Really, really great story as well. He's come back from an ACL surgery as a younger player. As you had mentioned, Glenn, he's got already this season 225 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. They like to run the football, and we'll see. It's going to definitely be one of the keys to the game with this weather and Ophelia coming in here. The ground game's going to be important, but he's not alone. The quarterback, Francis McCarthy, can make some things happen with 2 rushing touchdowns on his own. The junior quarterback, O'Day Morgan, as well as Tay White, will also get some carries for this St. George's Hawks team. They do have the ability to throw the football. They don't do it often, Glenn, but keep an eye out for senior wide receiver Emery Womack, 91-yard touchdown reception already this season. Pretty senior-laden group up front, 3 offensive linemen on the left side of that line, and including the center Kyle Jones, with junior Manny Alexander going from left guard to right guard this season, and then the youngster Jaleel Settles at right tackle.
4 of those 5 offensive linemen are returning starters from last year, and that bodes well for what Coach Wilson wants to do, control the ground game.
Absolutely, and they move. They move guys around up front. As we said, a pretty veteran group out there. 3 seniors. Alexander, the returning starter as a junior, sliding over to kind of balance that line out. And then the youngster Settles. They definitely do a great job and that's going to be a battle up front for Appo. Can they withstand this running attack and this strong offensive line that St. George's has?
Taking a look at the Appo defense, they went last week predominantly with 3 down linemen. That was Demir Milam, the senior, who we had on the show Wednesday night. Junior Aaron Hall, he's right in the middle there. He's the nose guard. And then how about freshman Leighton Von Brandt? He is playing both sides of the ball. He's a freshman, and you can't miss him out there on the field. He's one of the tallest players out there.
Yeah, he's a big fella. He's about like 6'7" right now as a freshman. just another family legacy. That Von Brandt name has been around these parts at Appoquinimink for upwards of 6-7 years now on the football field. Demir Milam's he's going to be a big piece of it, Glenn. You mentioned him, the senior defensive lineman. He can really wreak some havoc. And then you look at the second level, Edge Von Brandt, who is the older brother, sophomore linebacker, can really get done. And then in the secondary, Dylan Griffith is a game changer out there. The junior safety led the state in interceptions as a freshman. Last season was kind of feared. Teams didn't really throw to him a whole lot, but he can definitely make some plays and some differences on the defensive side of the football.
And, Pat, one reason they didn't throw his way a lot last year is because in 2021 he led the state in interceptions. His younger brother, the freshman Donovan Griffith, may also see some playing time in the secondary. And I was told by assistant coach Paul Frame, he's a freshman. He's got a little bit of confidence that he needs to build up, but that'll come. He's a young player, and I'm sure his older brother is going to help lead him away.
He did really well last week, made a handful of tackles on special teams, so already contributing, and those a lot of times the special teams are what really help a player get his confidence and eventually transition onto the defensive side of the ball.
Now, we talked about St. George's returning almost the entire offensive line. Defensively, they had to plug a lot of new players in this year. Returning to anchor one defensive end position is the junior Jace Munson. He's joined up front by Amir Jones, Dwayne Williams, and Josh Joyner. Linebacking crew is Tay White, O'Day Morgan, Walik Johnson Richardson, and Josiah Fife. And then in the secondary, it's Andrew Thomas, Aiden Jones, Ryer Rayford, and Emery Womack. The kicker, Andrew Thomas, the punter, Tim Wichard. And keep your eye on Tim Wichard. He's thrown a 91-yard touchdown pass this season, Pat.
Yeah, that's a difference maker. Not guaranteed a punt when that young man comes onto the field. So Appo's going to have to keep an eye out for that one for sure.
All right, Pat, we've got the captains for both teams out at the center of the field introduced to each other, and the officiating crew will have the flip of the coin and see who's going to receive the opening kickoff. Again, it's a pleasant night tonight. It's not hot. It's about 63 degrees. It's only supposed to get down to 61 by the end of the game tonight. However, it's all going to depend on that wind tonight and the effect that will have on the game.
I had seen reports of potentially 30 to 40 mile an hour winds in this area. Who's that going to affect? I mean, that's going to affect the air game, Glenn, and that's where Appo, the running game up behind maybe Jaden Glover, perhaps the sophomore Caden Harvey Brown. I'd look to see them look to attack, maybe get some of these wide receivers in the mix on speed sweeps and jet options. The passing game could be tough to come by here with the wind being as strong as it's going to be throughout.
All right, St. George's has
won the toss. Looks like they declined.
Yep, they're going to take the ball to start the second half, so they're going to take the win. They'll have the win at their backs here in the first quarter.
Well, there you have it. We're ready for football, Glenn.
Yep. And as soon as we get the national anthem, we're going to step aside, and then we'll be right back for the opening kickoff of tonight's ball game here in West Middletown, just off the new 301 bypass as we see the traffic in the background. Right here on Delaware Live, powered by 302 Sports. I feel like I haven't missed a beat.
It's good to have you back. It feels as if you've been here the last 2 weeks, Glenn.
Hey, thanks for taking over for me, buddy. You've done a great job. I've been watching the games. Saw last week's game. Of course, the week before that, you had, gosh, I've forgotten already.
Middletown and
Sussex Central.
Sussex Central.
Yep. So we're hoping we have a closer competitive game tonight than we've had for the Central crew the last two ball games. All right, we're going to step aside for the national anthem. We'll be back with the opening kickoff right here on Delaware Live, powered by 302 Sports.
The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now there's one news outlet where our story is told. Delaware Live. Locally owned community-based news. Free to every reader, because Delaware's future belongs to all of us. Quality journalism we can trust to help us take on the day. Delaware Live. Our state, our news, our home.
Your home, your community. It's not just where you live, it's where you belong. At Dover Federal Credit Union, We understand what it means to be local.
Get the assurance that your HVAC system is what you need with Ambience. Ambience provides you with over 25 years of experience in the heating, cooling, and plumbing industry. The team at Ambience Heating and Air Conditioning provides high-quality residential HVAC installations, maintenance, and repairs in new and older homes in the Delaware, Maryland, Pennsylvania tri-state area. You may not realize it, but half of your energy costs go to heating and cooling. Make sure your energy dollars count and call us today for a free estimate. 302-239-HVAC. 302-239-4822.
Started here, and we're not going anywhere. We're as local as it gets, and we like it that way. We're not just a financial institution. We are the local credit union that you can trust. Local people, local decisions. Dover Federal Credit Union.
Welcome to Premier Physical Therapy and Sports Performance. We're a locally owned outpatient physical therapy practice with convenient locations in all 3 counties in Delaware. At Premier, we have experienced physical therapists with advanced credentials, but their hospitality, passion, and enthusiasm is what makes the difference for you. Find our convenient locations at premierptsp.com.
You may have tried physical therapy,
But have you tried Premier? Welcome to
Great
Premier
job
Physical.
with the national anthem by the Appoquinimink Jaguar High School Marching Band. The ROTC squad is just exiting the football field, coming down toward us. And we'll have St. George's kicking off to Appo to start the game. Appo will be into the breeze here in this first quarter. And it's going to be really interesting to see how much they put the ball in the air.
It will be, and that's something that we'll have to keep an eye on. And you can see the flags of the ROTC program. Those young men and women are out there fighting right now, trying to hold them up with honor. It's tremendous. The wind's definitely strong. Glenn, it's a great time just to once again give a shout out to our lead sponsor here. This is our game of the week here, brought to you by First State Orthopedics, the official game of the week sponsor for Delaware Live Sports. First State Orthopedics has 29 physicians at 16 locations, which provide both surgical and non-surgical treatment for a variety of orthopedic conditions and are specially trained in the current state-of-the-art techniques. They serve as team physicians for over 20 high schools, Wilmington University, and many local recreational competitive leagues. Their doctors are readily available to all local emergency departments, medical aid, and urgent care centers for consultation and treatment. Give them a call at 302-322-3400 or visit firststateortho.com and mention you saw them right here at Delaware Live Sports.
Kickoff by Aiden Herrera-Lopez, taken by Dylan Griffith, spun around right around the 25-yard line, and that's where Appo will operate. Appo Jags in their home burgundy uniforms, helmets, jerseys, and pants with white numerals, and the St. George's Hawks in the road whites. And I heard you guys talking, I think it was last week. We're going to say the same thing tonight. Great contrast on uniform numbers again here tonight. Easy for us to pick out numbers.
Always appreciated, and honestly, two of the better uniform designs throughout the state. I really like the look. Appo with the Cincinnati Bearcat number print, and St. George's color scheme. I've always appreciated the green, the blue, and the white, silver.
Yeah.
Looks really good out there.
All right, we've got Glover and Carter in the backfield. Nielsen hands it off to Glover, does a good jump cut move and breaks into the secondary. He's up to midfield and into the Hawks territory down to the 40-yard line. Great trap block at the point of contact.
Absolutely, and we talked to these two teams on Wednesday, Glenn, and this was what they mentioned. Next man up mentality. Jaden Glover getting his opportunity. And how about that? That's a great first run of the game for the senior tailback. And that's what Appo's going to need to do in this one, Glenn.
36 yards on the first play from scrimmage. 1st and 10 for the Jags. Nielsen again in the gun. Hands it off to Glover again. Right up the gut. He breaks through the initial line of scrimmage. And he looks like he did get inside the 35 down to the 38.
He runs hard, folks. And, he's got good vision back there. You see the first two plays of the game. He somehow squeezes through holes, and we lose him for a second, and then you catch him, and he's 7 to 10 yards down the field.
I noticed when we had him on the show Wednesday night, I was talking about McConomy getting hurt and how big that was for the team. And I said, but then Glover came in, and he ran pretty hard, and he beamed down there on the dais. Second down and 4 for the Jags. Nielsen back to pass, throws in the far flat. Catch is made by Carter, breaks a tackle very close to a first down inside the 30.
Yeah, Yalik Carter, a sophomore. He's just another, up-and-coming weapon for this Appo offense. That's going to be the kind of passes they're probably going to want to take advantage of. Again, the downfield throws are going to be tough with the wind blowing really from far sideline to near. Those wide receiver screens could be the way to do it. Nice first down play.
Yep. Appo on the move here. First drive of the game. First and 10 at the 29 of the Hawks. Handoff right up the middle again. Glover makes one man miss, but not the second. A couple of defenders get up off the field as Glover is tackled for maybe a yard.
Good work there by number 80, senior defensive end for St. George's, Amir Jones. Fought through his block and was able to get a body on Glover at the line of scrimmage, something they hadn't done in the previous 3 run attempts.
Noah Hoff is split wide to the top of your screen. 2 receivers to the bottom. Nielsen in the gun, step back, takes, throws, and I don't think the receivers and the quarterback were on the same page on that play. Incomplete.
Yeah, a little bit high. They were looking for Jacob Yard, the tight end there. As a quarterback, what you don't want to do is miss high. Lucky there for Nielsen.
Yeah.
That one fell incomplete. You can see him patting himself on the chest. Missed the target there. Now it sets up 3rd and long.
Yep, 3rd down and 9. We mentioned Noah Hoff earlier. I want to give a shout out to his mom, Amy Hoff. She's a big-time supporter. She is home under the weather and watching our live stream tonight. Amy, get well soon.
Absolutely.
Nielsen back to pass. Looks. And he's got Hoff. How about that for timing? He's down to the 5-yard line.
He's one of the best in the state, folks, out there, number 17, the junior. And he talked about at the show how, he Dylan Griffith and company, they got with Greg Nielsen this offseason and really worked on the timing of the different routes within the tree that they have in the offense. And you've seen that early in this season. They seem to really be on page together.
1st and goal. Give us to Glover. He slashes through, and he's in the end zone standing. Appo draws first blood, padded 6-zip.
That's a really, really impressive opening drive. Coming off of, a setback with your senior leader, finding out he's out for the season. They come down, and within 3 minutes, they do it through the air, and they do it through the ground game, and Glover gets himself a touchdown. That's really well done. Wind not affecting Appo on the offensive side here to start.
And to kick the point after should be Christian Towns, and it is indeed number 30. I believe Hoff is the holder. Snap, placement's down, kick is on the way, and the kick is good. We're going to keep it right here as Appo methodically moves down the field. 75-yard drive to open the game into the wind, Pat, and they did a pretty good job of, as you said, mixing up the pass and the run.
Yeah, really great play calling, good balance out there from Coach Timpson and his staff. And, they were moving bodies. They were moving bodies out of the way. St. George's really couldn't stop anything. I mean, they ran through them. They threw the ball through the air. You can look at Coach Timpson over here on the sideline getting the crowd psyched up.
Is he dancing to the band?
He is psyching the crowd. And you know what? This is personal for this group, right? I don't know if you've been following Coach Prime at Colorado, but he mentioned that was one of his pregame speeches was this is personal. These two have kind of built a little bit of a rivalry the last few years, and you can see that energy. You can see that energy on this Appo sideline.
All right. Ready to kick it off. Christian Towns for Appo. It'll be St. George's turn to put their offense onto the field. Towns approaches the football. High end over end. Right down the middle. And it hits a player and has alertly covered up by a special teamer for the Hawks. Right about the 30-yard line. So St. George's will have pretty good field position to start their first drive.
And this is where let's see what they come to the table with. We talked about their running game. Down 7 here. It's still early in the game. I see Cam Montgomery and company if they can get going and answer the early touchdown from Appo.
Last night, Nick Alessandrini, Mike Lang, and crew had St. Mark's and Red Lion Christian with St. Mark's with the shutout win. The other game tonight downstate, it's Benny Mitchell and Scott Cameron and the crew, and they have Sussex Central and the Castle hosting DMA.
Should be a good one there.
First down play, handoff off the left side. Montgomery stood up at the line. He might have gotten 2 yards.
There's Edge Von Brandt, the sophomore linebacker, getting in the mix there. This young man plays fast. He seems to really be picking up what the other offenses are doing, and he's reacting very, very quickly. That was a good job getting through there. And even with Montgomery getting hit in the backfield, you can see the strength he carries defenders for what turns out to be about 2.5, 3 yard gain.
Yeah, we'll call it 2, Pat. Second down and 8. Ball across the Hawks 30 at the 32-yard line in the gun. Fake. Rolls near side. Throws in the flat. Completes the pass at the 40. Midfield, a flag is down as the receiver goes out in Appo territory, and on the catch was Jason Askins-Brooks.
Yes, and the junior wide receiver does have a 63-yard touchdown reception this season. And here you go. This looks like this could be holding, though, out there on the wing. But how about that early Coach Wilson?
Yeah.
Oh, you think we're just going to run the football, huh? Here's a little play-action pass. And they found the weapon, Askins-Brooks, out in the flat. I like the play design. And if St. George's is able to keep the defense honest with some passes, that's going to bode well for them as an offense in this one.
So that negates about a 21-yard pass play. The infraction occurred right near midfield, so St. George's backed up inside their 40, and it'll bring up second down and 2.
All right, now this is typically where you see teams take a shot, second and short, thinking, hey, we can always go to the safe run game on third down. Let's see where Coach Wilson goes.
Handoffs to Montgomery. He's trying to get the far edge. Appo right there. There will be no gain on the play.
And it's the Von Brandt boys again. Edge sets the edge, no pun intended. And then Leighton from behind comes up and makes that tackle. Not a whole lot of room to work for Cam Montgomery there on that play. Third down and short upcoming.
Yeah, they're going to give him credit for 1 yard, Pat. So you mentioned third and about a yard. And now we've got an Appo defender coming in. Number 52, Miko Gibson, who is the starting center on offense. Going to beef it up.
Little I formation power here. Nick Alessandrini probably knows what's coming.
Montgomery off the left side, trying to pan. I don't know. It's going to depend on the spot.
Look at the drag, though. He pushed across the 40 with the second effort.
Second effort, I would say he's got the first down.
They're going to give it to him. I'll tell you what, that's just pure strength right there from Cam Montgomery. I know his dad, Brandon Montgomery. Now, he actually trained me. We had a couple of training sessions at speed. He's really good at that kind of stuff, and they train constantly, these two. And that's a big thing is the strength and power of Cam Montgomery, and he single-handedly picked up that first down.
He did, because Appo had him stopped short. All right, fresh set of downs for the Hawks. Play action. Throws in the far flat, completes the pass on the slant pattern into Appo territory, and a first down to the 46-yard line. On the reception, that was number 7, Emery Womack.
Heck of a job there from McCarthy. He really sold that running play action fake, pulled it and threw it right through the window in between the linebackers. Found his leading receiver on the season, Womack. Really good execution there on the play action pass.
Junior quarterback McCarthy has already put the ball up 3 times here in the first quarter. Puts it in the belly of Montgomery, runs into his own blocker, and then manages to surge inside the Appo 45 to the 44. He'll pick up about 3.
It looks like Griffith coming up from the safety position. Comes up, makes the play, as well as Antoine Osborne, the junior linebacker. I'll tell you, this Appo defensive front is really getting a good push and really forcing Montgomery to kind of hesitate. He can't really get downhill so far early in this one, and it's really been the passing game that's been successful for St. George's.
Second down and 8. McCarthy standing near midfield. Montgomery alongside of him. Montgomery gets the give. That time he slashes down inside the Appo 40 to about the 38-yard line. That's his best run of the night.
And they got a good push. That right side of the offensive line did a really good job. That was Rollins, Cronin, it looks like over there, as well as McVeigh, Mazza. Those guys really moved, and you can see Montgomery had a little bit of room to run. Now it sets up a 3rd and manageable.
Yeah, 3rd and 2. We've got 2x2 of receivers, top and bottom. That spreads the defense. McCarthy hands it off to Montgomery, trying to get the edge. Runs behind a block, and he backpedals and dives, and I think he's got the first.
And nice cutback right there. And again, the strength of this young man. He is running through tackles right now. He's not getting pushed back.
Yep, got the first down right at the 35-yard line of the Jags. I thought coming in tonight we might see a low-scoring game. So far, not the case.
Not the case. And how about both teams with the wind getting the job done through the air? And it's going to keep their offenses, balanced and keep the defense on their heels. Yeah, Glenn, this has been fun. This is what St. George's wants to do, though. Control the clock and manage the game that way.
McCarthy at the 40. Fakes it to Montgomery. Throws in the near flat, and it was, I don't know whether the defender got a hand in there or not. It looked like number 8, Osborne, got a hand in him. Kind of broke that pass up.
Yeah, he was right there. Intended target was O'Day Morgan. And, they couldn't quite connect on that one. And that's the first mishap we've seen in the passing game from either team here.
That's right. Well, no, Nielsen had one. Remember, he threw it, and it seemed like anybody wasn't on the same page, and it kind of fell harmlessly. So they both had just the one incompletion. Good start, though, by the QBs. 2nd down and 10 for the Hawks. McCarthy will roll far side. Going to tuck it in and run with it. Good bounce to the outside.
Man.
And just shy of the first down marker. Out of bounds inside the Appo 30.
Griffith with an aggressive hit over there on the sideline, but great decision by McCarthy. Again, play fake, rolls out. He had the option to throw the football there, but what he saw was green grass and a lead blocker. Tucked in and ran. That's a 9-yard gain on 2nd down and another 3rd down and manageable for the St. George's offense.
Yep, 3rd down and short.
Now you're really in 4-down territory, Glenn.
Haskins Brooks is the wide out to the bottom of your screen. Montgomery flanks quarterback McCarthy in the backfield. McCarthy bobbled the snap, will take it himself and tackle from behind short of the first down. Good one-on-one tackle by Milam.
Yeah, Milam is just a load, a force to be reckoned with up front. Big fella's got agility as well as size. He did a good job of getting off his block and preventing that first down run, because McCarthy, if he was able to get around him, had first down yardage easily on that play.
Once again, Appo brings in the beef as they kind of strengthen that front, trying to prevent. 4th down and less than a yard for St. George's.
And look at this.
Hey, this is reminiscent of
I was going to say, this could be a sneak. Is this sneak time?
Looks like the earthquake formation. Yeah, it is. Quarterback keeper. Oh, and he drives forward, and he should have the first down yardage. It depends on the spot, though.
It does. You can see he had to really reach to get that ball beyond the 25, and they move it back.
They did.
Said the knee was down. He's short.
Wow, no gain there by McCarthy, so a turnover on downs. Appo gets the ball back. We have just under 4 minutes to go in this opening quarter. It's the Jags 7 and the Hawks nothing.
Heck of a stop right there from the Jaguar defense. Again, the energy's there for the Jags. Score update for you, Glenn, in our game down south. DMA on top 7-6 over Sussex Central. First quarter action there. Again, that's that game as well being streamed across the Delaware Live Sports Network here.
That's another game that I thought would be just ground and pound by those two teams. That's Benny Mitchell and the downstate crew doing that game. Nielsen's under center.
How about this?
Fakes the pitch out. Nice blocking up the middle of the field. And on that fake pitch, it's Glover with a good gain on first down. Pat, he got about 4.
That's going to cause a timeout here for St. George's. I really love the way we got 2 running backs here tonight, one on either team. that just run the football hard, almost old school style. You know what I mean? Just pound the rock down your throat. And that's a big time 6-yard gain on first down and forces a timeout here for St. George. St. George's got to be careful, right? So they give up that scoring drive. Then they come back on offense and they get stalled on their way, having a good drive of their own.
Yeah.
You want to make sure the momentum gets cut off right here if you're a Hawks fan. Jaguars got the momentum and the swagger right now, looking to make things happen. That was a good first down run right there.
Really good blocking on the right side. That was Manny Alexander. Oh, excuse me, wrong team. Let me flip the board. That was Milam and Miko Gibson right in the middle. All right, second down, about 3.5. Nielsen back in the gun.
Ooh, there's a first down.
Yep, movement.
Appo executing very, very well here early in this game, in this first quarter, Glenn.
Well, they got off to a good start in the Rumble on the River against Odessa, a 2A team. But this year, the Appoquinimink School District Administration decided, hey, Odessa, Middletown, Appo, we want you to all start playing each other. So it begins this year, and Appo got that win, and then they ran into the buzzsaw, lightning-quick Dover Senators last week.
Yeah, they're a fun team to watch there.
First down play. Give again to Glover. Shook off one defender, but not another, and he's going to go down for a minimal gain.
First guy breaking through was Jace Munson. He was the lone returner on that defensive line. He came through and knocked Glover off balance there. No gain on the play.
I want to also give a little shout out to our good buddy, John Busby. Buzz is the public address announcer here at Appo High, has done it for quite a few years. Of course, he and Marty Sheehan do a great job on their podcast.
Yeah, it's awesome. The Delaware High School Football Podcast. It's a must listen. There's so many avenues to hear about Delaware High School football within this state.
Nice route. Good pass by Nielsen and a completion right on the Appo sideline. Making the catch was Montabell.
Yeah, and he's a sophomore wide receiver. And again, I mean, this passing offense is so efficient. You know, not many teams are able to do it, but the timing is there. The routes are crisp. And Nielsen, I was impressed with him last year, Glenn.
Yeah.
And he's making the progressions. You're seeing it. I mean, he is extremely accurate with the football. Only a sophomore.
Yeah, that was a great timing pattern right there and a connection. So now it is third down and less than 2. It's Glover, right side, got the edge. Oh, somebody came up and tripped him up, or that was going to be a big gainer, but he did get enough for the first down near midfield.
There's Ray-Air Rayford coming up from his safety spot. And, first down yardage was gained, but a nice stick right there by number 12.
Pat, you were just alluding to the fact that Nielsen started last year at quarterback as a freshman. Well, how about last year? The team completed just 13 passes in their first 5 games last year, but in the second 5 games, 40 completions. That's when they started to click.
Yeah, look, again.
Right in the middle of the field, breaking a tackle, step back, and inside the 40-yard line, number 18 on the reception. And we didn't have him in the starting lineup, but that's Cole Temple.
Cole Temple, how about that? And quick feet right there in the slot. And, you know, they got a couple of these Wes Welker prototype guys, man. They find openings in the zone defense, and Nielsen is just doing a really great job of finding those windows and throwing the ball accurate and on time. Everything's a timing route with this Appo passing game.
And it's impressive because they're doing this against the wind.
Yeah.
Glover, big hole up the middle of the field. First down play all the way down to the 30-yard line. He'll gain 8.
This offensive line for Appoquinimink is just having their way right now. Glover's not getting touched to the second level of defense on about 80% of his carries. And even that one, it's a 9-yard carry. He wasn't touched until he was 6 yards down the field.
2 minutes to go, Pat, in this opening quarter. Appo on the move again.
It's a good response from Appo. Like I said, given last week with how things went with Dover.
Nielsen hands it off, Glover up the middle. He hesitated, waiting for the blocking to develop, and his patience pays off with a first down run.
Great work.
38 down to the 27-yard line. And another timeout.
This one by Appo.
Yeah. Appo wants to set up the red zone offense, Pat.
Yeah, I've been extremely impressed with what we've seen from the Jaguars here. They've completely controlled this game. here in this opening quarter through the air, on the ground. You know, I for sure thought maybe the wind was going to cause some factors, and obviously it's still early on. Let's see if it picks up. But just looking around the stadium, the American flag over there by the scoreboard it's never settled. It's been blowing the entire time, and it looks like it's going from across the field. So, but that doesn't matter. Nielsen's doing a really great job of throwing the ball with some zip and finding these guys. Doesn't seem to be affecting either team.
Well, let's see what Appo dials up here now. 1:39 to go in this opening quarter. They're just outside the red zone, so they're at the Hawks' 22-yard line. Both teams have used one timeout here in the half. Appo waiting for the official whistle. Nielsen in the backfield, Glover behind him. Takes a snap, gives it to Glover. Not much there, as good job by the Hawks interior defense.
Yeah, great job there. I mean, Munson set the tone there. Amir Jones off the back end made a nice play, and it looks like Tay White, the outside linebacker, came off the edge from the opposite side too. That's about as good as St. George's has looked against the run game here tonight. That's a really nice job up front.
Clock running. We're down to 1:10 to go in this opening quarter. Appo leading 7-0. Second down and 9 for the Jags. Ball to 21 of the Hawks. Back to pass. Throwing down in the right corner of the end zone. Jump ball, tipped and incomplete.
I mean, Glenn, that was about as perfect a throw as you can make. And Hoff went up and high pointed it. He just couldn't quite come down with it. But they nearly just out-executed fantastic coverage on the play, because coming over from the safety spot, doing a great job, was Raya Rayford, and the corner over there as well in coverage did a pretty good job too, Andrew Thomas. But they nearly out-executed the good coverage. Nonetheless, fell incomplete, and that's a win. Third down and long now.
3rd and 9. Nielsen back. He's going to run with it. And he's hit and goes down shy of the 20. There will be no gain on the play, so it's going to be 4th down and 9.
Couldn't quite see who was the initial contact on that play. I think it may have been, looked like number 50 on the play, which I think is Walik Johnson Richardson.
Okay. Yeah, he's starting linebacker. All right, 4th down play. Appo will go for it. Nielsen throws near flat, timing pattern, and just led his receiver too far.
That may have been the first instance of the wind taking the football. We're saying it's blowing from the far sideline to the near sideline. He's open on that flood route. That intermediate route there was open for Montabell. And what typically probably would have been nicely led out in front of him, the wind kind of took that one and blew it towards the sideline. So big-time stop there from St. George's after the Jaguars were looking to build on their momentum.
Yeah, good job by the Hawks defense, tightening up there near the red zone. So now they take over on downs. Second time the offense has been out there. 13 seconds to go in the first quarter. McCarthy in the gun. And he hands it off to Montgomery. Tried left side. Stood up by a couple of defenders. His legs are so powerful.
It's unreal. I mean, he's getting hit right at the line of scrimmage, and it doesn't matter. And that's going to close the quarter out.
Yep, and the 1 quarter in the books. It's Appo 7, St. George's nothing. We'll be back to start second quarter right after these messages on Delaware Live, powered by 302 Sports.
owner and president of Sodell Concepts, the best restaurant group in the state, and we're inviting you to come join our team. Sodell Concepts is a growing hospitality company with 16 restaurants and a variety of other hospitality businesses, all located in beautiful southern Delaware. We have recently added many departments to our executive leadership team, including a training department, a property development department, and a construction department. We invite you to come live at the beach and work with a growing restaurant group with many opportunities to advance your career. Sodell Concepts Restaurant Group, come check us out.
All right, Glenn Fraser alongside Pat Garriantes ready to start second quarter of action here from Appo High with the Jags on top 7-0. St. George's has second down and 8 back inside their own 25-yard line. Also producing the game tonight, Nick Halliday and Glenn Hiller up top. Running the camera. It's Montgomery trying to get the far edge, breaks one ankle tackle attempt, still on his feet, he's up to midfield and into Appo territory. Strong run as he broke a tackle and broke free.
It broke a tackle, right? That seems to be the early storyline with this young man, and he did. He broke one and finally saw green and broke off the long run. That's big for the St. George's group. Again, they're going to feed the beast in Montgomery, and he's looking strong early in this one.
34-yard pickup by Montgomery. Fresh set of downs for the Hawks at the 43-yard line of Appo. Just underway here in the second quarter. McCarthy, long signal count. Gives the ball right back to Montgomery, right up the middle, jukes one man, spin move, and goes down near the 20-yard line.
Wow. That time, great work up front by that offensive line. First time that they've allowed the running game really to get out there with a clean carry. And Montgomery back-to-back first down runs. This is what St. George's wants to do. Good answer from the Hawks.
His first 8 carries, he did not have a gain of more than 6 yards, Pat. Last 2 carries, 34 and 23.
Yeah.
McCarthy. Oh, bobbled the snap, but went right into the hands of Montgomery, but alertly Appo gets in there, and Von Brandt makes a stop in the backfield.
Great work from Von Brandt. Broke through, and that's just the right place at the right time. Young man's a freshman.
Fortunately for St. George's, that snap went off of McCarthy's hands right into the moving Montgomery.
You're not kidding, Glenn.
That could have been a Von Brandt fumble recovery.
Yeah, that could have been a disaster. Worst case scenario now for them is they get behind the sticks a little bit, but I'm sure that Coach Wilson and the coaching staff will take that compared to the alternative.
Second down and 13 for the Hawks. McCarthy, clean snap, gives it to Montgomery, big hole on the left side, and he will bounce all the way down just shy of the 15-yard line.
Oh my gosh, that's a good 10-yard carry, and it gets them back on schedule, 3rd and 5. Edge Von Brandt on the tackle, as well as the safety coming to finish it off there, number 15, Gavin Miller.
12-yard pickup that time. So it's going to be 3rd down and about 4. McCarthy hands it off. Montgomery again. This time the defense right there to stand him up. Maybe a yard loss.
First time we've seen him knocked back. Looks like an Edge Von Brandt yet again, as well as number 31, Omari Cofield. They both take him down for a loss. Maybe a little bit winded. He toted the rock about 6 straight times.
Yeah. All right, so it brings up a big 4th down and about 6. Under 9.5 minutes to go in this first half. It's a 1-score game here at Appo with the Jags on top 7-0. In the backfield this time is number 3. That's Tay White.
And a little missed lineup here, and this may be the 3rd timeout second timeout here for St. George's being used.
Right, they're going to call one here. We're going to keep it right here.
And they were not lined up right, and that's frustrating, I'm sure, for the staff. Have to burn a timeout right there. But this is a huge play, obviously. 4th down and 7, 4th down to 6.
So once again, Benny Mitchell and the crew down there in the Castle in Georgetown. Sussex Central trailing DMA 7-6 early in that ball game. It's one score we had.
It was scoreless at Tower Hill last time I had checked, Glenn.
Yeah, Concord and Tower Hill at the end of one. And no update yet, although I do have somebody at Abyssinia to give us scores on the Smyrna Salesianum game.
Always a good one right there.
Oh, yeah. Ever since that 76-56 game.
How fun was that? Cape's up 28-7 over Lake Forest right now.
All right, here we go, Pat.
And we're back.
Fourth down play. And it's a pass in the middle of the field, and it's caught for a first down. It'll be first and goal.
How about that,
Caught
Glenn?
that.
Looked like it was Emery Womack.
Okay.
Across the middle, knew he was going to take a shot. It didn't matter. Great throw, great catch. And those are the kind of plays you need to make to continue the momentum.
Number 7 on the now right up the middle, and Appo stops. I think that was Montgomery at about the 3. It'll be second and goal.
And they go back to the run game. And that's what's worked for St. George. But what a crucial fourth down pickup through the air.
It was, big time.
St. George's, if they're able to do that, this game's going to be a fun one to watch.
Here we go, second and goal from the 3. Montgomery alongside McCarthy in the backfield. Montgomery gets the ball, hesitates, moves to the left, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown. And just an extra point away are the Hawks from tying this one up.
Heck of an answer there from St. George's. Appo kind of dominated that first quarter. They finally were able to get a push up front, free some space for Montgomery, and that was a well-earned touchdown, given what he's been able to do early in this game.
Extra point attempt. Kicker is Andrew Thomas. Kick is high enough, that's for sure.
How about that? It looks like, Glenn, it looks like the kicker on that was, Andrew Thomas put that up and in.
He did. So we're all tied, 7-7, 8:17 to go here in the first half. I want to give a shout out to a couple of players that played last year's for Appo High. We all know All-State Husser, Elijah Husser, who played both sides of the line. He's at a junior college, Lackawanna Junior College, and I hear he's alternating in and out, but he's getting some starting time on the offensive line. And then, of course, the Von Brandt brothers here, and their dad's an assistant coach. He's usually up top. And their brother, who was a quarterback here, I think.
Yeah, Ryan Von
right?
Brandt.
Yeah,
yes,
Ryan. Yeah. He's playing tight end for VMI. However, he broke his collarbone in preseason, and they don't expect him back till maybe week 8 or week 9.
Yeah, he was fun to watch, man.
Yeah.
And they let him, carry the football the second half of his senior season, and he was just running guys over. It was fun to watch.
Here's the kickoff. Short pooch kick taken by one of the upbacks, just shy of the Appo 40, and they will get the ball to start this drive at about the 39-yard line.
It looks like that was number 18, which I believe is Cole Temple, right? We've called his name once or twice here.
Yeah, he made a good pass reception in that first quarter.
All right, now how does Appo respond? We got ourselves the kind of game we were expecting here in this first State Orthopedics game of the week.
Well, the last drive they had, Pat, they went methodically down the field again, but the drive stalled near the St. George's 20-yard line.
Hey, both teams have had a drive stall and a drive completed. I mean, they've really mirrored each other.
Now Appo for the first time offensively with a win. Give us right up the middle. Pushing that pile, and then it gets pushed back. So it looked like Glover got out across the 40 to about the 41.
And Tay White came off the edge and started to pull him backwards there. Did a good job of stopping the momentum.
Gain of about 2. Brings up second down and 8 for the Jags. Carter checks into the offensive lineup for Appo. So we've got trips to the bottom of your screen. Hoff, Montabell, and Carter, and a lone receiver to the top. Nielsen, it's a handoff right up the middle. Glover again got good yardage. He picked up looks like out just shy of the 45-yard line.
Johnson Richardson on the tackle. Nice work there from the middle linebacker.
Pickup of 3, Pat, 3rd down and 5. Is this game moving along now? We're approaching 7 minutes to go in this first half, all tied at 7.
See where they go with it. The wind is howling.
Nielsen.
This is where that passing game comes in.
Quick timing pattern. In the middle of the field, Carter gets the slant in and the first down in Hawk territory at the 46.
You started to see Yalik Carter's confidence grow in the game last week, and he lines up here in the slot. He had a rough start with a couple of kick returns, but he's, like I said, he's really started to get his footing second half of that game, and he's already had a few big plays in the first half of this one. Big first down there for the Jags.
From the 46 of the Hawks. And premature movement. Now let's see who this is on. It looked like the left tackle might have jumped.
Yeah, Von Brandt definitely moved. Was he baited? Nope.
Yeah. I think that might be the first penalty in the game against Appo.
I was going to say, Glenn, yeah. It's been very clean football so far.
And I believe St. George's just had that one holding call on the pass reception.
Yeah.
Right?
I think you're exactly right. Yeah, like I said, I mean, this is clean here tonight.
I got to tell you, Pat, this is a lot more fun than sitting home watching you.
That is the truth.
First and 15 now for the Jags. Nielsen back to pass, pump fake. Now he cuts it loose. Tipped and caught by Carter for a touchdown. It was tipped and underthrown by the defender, and Carter catches it for the score, and that goes 49 yards.
Unbelievable. I mean, coming over for help there was Womack, who's a sure-handed receiver himself. And again, the wind may have made a little bit of a factor on that. Last second kind of gust kind of tips it. He tips it in the air, and just in stride, Carter catches it and goes in.
That's actually a 51-yard touchdown pass because they were at their own 49-yard line. But Carter just kind of ho-hummed. He got it, and he just kind of jogged into the end zone.
Unbelievable there. That's a Play of the Week nominee.
Christian Towns trying to make it a 14-7 lead. That one's blocked.
Wow, what a job off the edge. Wonderful. And his special teams is a big part of this game. That was Andrew Thomas. So he goes, makes the extra point on one end, and then he comes and blocks the extra point on the other.
Wow. 6:26, so Appo does have an answer. But what could end up being a huge missed extra point there, as the lead is 13-7, Pat.
Unbelievable there, man. Oh, you got a little bit of razzle-dazzle on the tip. Slow score update, Glenn. We've got Caravel leading Laurel 21-3 in a big 2A matchup.
Yeah.
Caravel really asserting themselves down there. And Sussex Central is up 14-7 over DMA in that game down there that Benny and company are taking in and bringing to you. Again, if you get a chance, you could scroll between the two games here. We got them
Split
both
screen,
going.
huh? Open up another app there. Okay, we have 6:26 to go in the half. Appo will kick it off.
Look at that. The ball falls off the tee. Unreal. You don't see that very often.
Well, if you look at the American flag to our right, it is just standing straight out.
I'm wondering if that played a little bit on Womack's tracking of the ball from his safety spot, and then like a last-second gust kind of blows it a little bit more, and instead of catching it clean, it's a tip.
Good point. High end over end, short bounces inside the 20, taken at the 18-yard line by number 3. Is that Tay White?
That's White, yep.
He is tackled up around the shoulder pads and down around the 34, and that's where McCarthy and company will start this drive.
And it looks like, is that a penalty marker? It is. There's a penalty marker down there. White did a good job of finding the hole because there was definitely a gap up the middle.
Yeah.
Let's see. This usually means holding right here.
Flag down near the 20-yard line of the Hawks.
This could really start St. George's off on a bad foot here. Let's see.
Well, if Montgomery runs like he did the last drive, I don't think it's going to hurt him.
That's true.
Man. He had the touchdown run. He had 2 runs consecutively for a total of almost 60 yards.
I'm not familiar with what the signal was, but it was against St. George's.
And they're going to step it off from the
Blindside
Hawks
block.
20.
There you go. It was a blindside block thanks to the electric clock operator up here in the booth.
All right, so they're going to start this drive just outside the Hawk 10-yard line. Almost the entire length of the field to go. Plenty of time, though. 6:21 to go in the half.
Yeah, St. George is spreading it out here, Glenn.
Yeah, that usually opens up things for Montgomery. Play fake, throws in the far flat, setting up the screen, and it's incomplete.
They look like they were going out there looking for number 11 there.
Jaden Gunter.
And Gunter, just that one just in and out of the hands.
I'll tell you, if he caught that, I don't know whether he would have gained much. It looked like 3 defenders in burgundy right on him.
It was good coverage out there by Appo.
2nd down and 10. Now this will be the first drive for the Hawks into the wind.
Yeah, that it will.
Stops the clock with 6:16 to go.
And that wind's really whipping now.
It is.
Oh, my Lord.
Two receivers to the top of your screen, one to the bottom. McCarthy, play action fake, throws over the middle. Great catch made in the middle of the field and up across the 30 for a first down. Number 7, Womack.
Wonderful job by Womack. Great route. Went up and got it in stride and made a man miss right away for first down yardage. Beautiful timing, good throw, good catch. It's just an all-around. I'll tell you what, the passing game for both teams has been extremely impressive early in this one, Glenn.
That one good for 20 yards and a first down. Now we've got a whistle before this play gets underway. We're going to have a 5-yard penalty here on one of the teams. Yeah, how about Womack?
Encroachment, so 5-yard penalty on Appo. But yeah, heck of a play by Womack.
McCarthy hit him on that timing pattern, that slant in, and he got it up there high enough too that Womack reached up and grabbed it. First down and 5 for the Hawks. Ball out across the 35.
Well, that helps 1st and 5 as opposed to 1st and 10. A lot of different options here for this offense.
You're going to transition the receiver to the left. Fakes the handoff, throws far flat. Oh, and nailed and hit just as soon as the ball touched his hands. They're going to say that's a catch?
I'm not. It looked like, yeah, all right. A heck of a job holding on to it. Dylan Griffith came up with the slobber knocker right there, man. Those are not fun when you have to reach up for the football and you get hit right in the rib cage like that. Big time hit from Griffith.
Actually gained about a yard.
Wow.
So it's going to be 2nd down and 4. I thought it was going to be an incomplete pass. Montgomery gets it. He's tripped up in the backfield, keeps those legs churning, and he's going to gain another yard.
It's unreal how strong this young man is. Nonetheless, though, I mean, you get a 1st and 5, and now it's a 3rd and 4, Glenn.
Yeah. You have 2 plays, and you only gained about a yard and a half.
Yeah.
Credit to the Appo defense. 3rd down and short. McCarthy in the gun. Gives it to Montgomery, trying to get the edge, stepping in there nicely and making the contact is Omari Cofield.
Wonderful job there by Cofield, and you know what? Good response here from Appo against the run game, right? They kind of lost it a little bit on that last drive, and now they've recovered back to what we saw in the first 2 from St. George's. They've been able to kind of dominate that line of scrimmage and not give Montgomery a whole lot of room to work.
Decision time for Coach Wilson. Are they going to punt? It would be the first punt of the game, or are they going to go for it? It looks like they're going to go for it. 4th down and 3. Now, what you got to do if you're Appo is be disciplined because you might have the hard cadence here. McCarthy calling signals, trying to draw Appo off sides. And now there's a whistle. And let's see what the call is here.
Delay a game.
Okay.
That may make the decision a little easier.
Yeah. I think now we'll see the punt team. It's going to be 4th down and about 9.
And I think only one timeout for St. George's, too. So.
You're right. Yeah, here comes the punt team with 3:28 to go in the half. So the first stop and punt in the ball game.
Yeah, nice work there from the Appo defense. They give 5 yards on first down for a pre-snap penalty and respond wonderfully with
now,
3 straight stops.
We say punt. Wichert has thrown a pass before, but he does punt this one, and it's a low, wobbly kick. No return, and will be down at the 41-yard line. Jags with good field position and 3:19 to go in the half.
Yeah, not typically what you want your punter to do, but with this win, Glenn, that actually may have worked out better, because who knows what would have happened if you got that ball up in the air.
It's kind of like when you have a lot of wind in your face playing golf. You don't want to take the pitching wedge and you know,
put it up there.
You want to like de-loft a 4-iron or something, and that's what happened there.
That's all. That's all.
Like to get my golf analogy in here in this game.
You know what? I need to be a sponge. That's a sport I'm trying to pick up, Glenn. I wish I could tell you that I knew the difference between a 4-iron and when to use it versus a 7-iron or an 8-iron. We'll get there eventually. We're just not there yet.
All right, buddy. Nielsen hands it off. Glover up to the 45, maybe the 46. He's going to gain almost 5 yards on first down.
He ran into his own guy, but he, again, head of steam. And that's a good 5-yard run for Jaden Glover. He's going to be one of these guys that, you know, not a lot of people have heard about, obviously, this, you know, in the past being in the same class as McConomy, but he's going to be someone that everyone knows by the end of the year, because the way that this young man runs, he is fearless with the football, and he's a load to bring down.
The first carry of the game tonight, he went for 36 yards, has not had a double-digit carry since. Wide out in motion to the top of your screen. Glover gets the late handoff, gets a push on the left side. Looks like he's going to be shy of the Appo 49, so it's going to be 3rd and short.
Okay, great work right there. Just finding the hole and slipping through. Setting up a 3rd and short. Everything's got to be forward momentum. That's what you want to do in the run game.
All right, here we go. 3rd down and 2. Nielsen checks over to the sideline, gets the play from head coach Timpson. Trips to the bottom of your screen, a lone receiver to the top. Glover behind it. Looking far flat. Throws it out there. In and out of the hands, incomplete. That would have been a first down.
Here's the freshman. You alluded to him in the pregame, Glenn. Francis Drummond, the freshman receiver. How about that back shoulder timing route? Again, these guys have really worked on their timing, and that was beautifully done.
Yeah.
Drummond just couldn't haul that one in, but that was great execution on a back shoulder throw. That's impossible to defend at the NFL level. You bring that down here to the high school and you're able to execute on that, that is something that Appo could absolutely unlock as a difference maker.
Clock stopped with 1:49 to go in the half, and now we have official timeout. Appo will call a timeout. I'm a little surprised they're not going for it here on 4th and 2.
Well, you know, few things here. And this timeout, maybe they're going to discuss it. Maybe they come out without it. But if they stay in the punt formation, and this is something that Coach Wilson and his group need to talk about during this timeout, is watch the hard count and watch the fake to the up back on a 4th and short like that. Just because they come out in the punt doesn't mean that they're necessarily just going to give away the possession. There could be a few things that they do here. Let's see what they come out with.
It almost looks like the offense was ready to break out of the sideline huddle and go back out on the field. Let's see what happens.
4th and 2, so it's not.
Offense coming out. So here's the offense out on the field, 4th and 2. And let's see if Appo does the same thing. They have another timeout they can use in case they run out of time here.
Right.
Trying to draw them off sides. No, it's a quick snap, but the officials weren't ready. Oh, wait a minute. We have a penalty.
Are they lined up in illegal
Illegal
substitution?
sub.
Yep.
So Appo gets the first down.
It's big.
Yeah, 1:49 to go in the half. Appo now at the Hawks' 46-yard line.
It's going to frustrate you as a coaching staff. An illegal substitution out of a timeout on a 4th and short to give the team with momentum a first down. Not what you want to do.
And for you Phillies fans, here's a Glover hit right at the line of scrimmage, might have gained a yard. Phillies trailing the Mets early 1-0. They're through 2.5 innings. Phil's batting bottom of the third. Of course, the Phils with a great win yesterday.
And it's on a bizarre night in Philly honoring Scott Rowland, who I was one of my first childhood idols, but we're honoring a guy that didn't want to be here. I don't know. It's just bizarre to me.
No gain on the play, 2nd and 10, and there is a missed snap, but we've got a penalty.
5 yards going the other way, and I'll tell you what, it looked like they were setting up to take a shot. Noah Hoff was running down the field, and don't get me wrong, good coverage by St. George's, but that might have been a shot that Appo was looking to take.
Stops the clock with 1:17 to go in this first half. Appo on top, 13-7. Now they're back at their own 49-yard line. Pat, last time they were here at the 49, 51-yard touchdown pass.
Yeah, and what might be one of our top plays of the week.
Nielsen back, pump fake, throws it downfield, looking for Hoff.
He's got him.
Oh, just couldn't quite get it. It was tipped back there by Womack and incomplete.
Well, that's where you don't want to miss on the inside of the field. I don't know if Hoff got knocked off his track or if Nielsen didn't quite see, but he missed it towards the inside of the field. And I don't know if the wind, the wind may have knocked it down a little bit. Couldn't quite get it out there.
Brings up 3rd down and 15. Just under a minute to go in the half. Nielsen. It's a draw play. Glover ankle tackled as he crosses midfield to the 48. And it's going to be 4th and long. Now we'll probably see Appo's first punt of the game.
Great work there by Munson. Here's the last time out of the half for St. George's to try and preserve some clock. But Munson was not fooled by the screenplay. However, if he doesn't make that tackle for Glover, he's challenging potentially for a first down there. Almost looked like a zero coverage there from St. George's. So nice work from the junior defensive end.
All right, it'll be 4th down and 12. For Appo at the 48. This will be the first punt of the game for the Jags as the two defenses tightening up a little bit here late in the second quarter.
Hey, Glenn, one of the feel-good stories early season in the football world continues. First State Military Academy with a 25-13 victory over Brandywine today.
How about that?
Yeah. According to Nick Halliday.
They played Brandywine? I thought they played Seaford.
Well, I'm going based on
they played Seaford today, not Brandywine.
Seaford, there you go. Ron Burgundy reading off the teleprompter again. Still, feel-good story continues.
Yes. 3-1. Great start. Gavin Miller, angle it towards the sideline. It'll bounce inside the 20 and taken on a hop by Womack. Eludes one defender, goes up the sideline, across the 35 and dragged down from behind, shy of the 40.
Nice work chasing down there by number 31, Omari Cofield. But how about that? You know, I've really appreciated it so far early in this season. The amount of guys that are out here now unafraid to punt return.
Yes.
I love it.
Remember last year?
It's been for a decade. Everyone, I'll get away. Don't receive the punt. Don't receive the punt. And if it bounced, it was a guarantee that nobody was picking it up.
Yep.
And I've seen it now 3 or 4 times in the early couple of weeks.
That's probably a difference in field position of about 35 yards.
Huge difference, Glenn. Yes.
McCarthy puts it in the belly of Montgomery. He stood up at the 40, spun around, and gang tackled there. He'll gain 2.
See if they hurry.
And with no timeout clock running, we're under 20 seconds.
It's questionable there that they would run the ball with no timeouts, but.
And now the secondary for Appo backing up way off the line of scrimmage. 9, 8, back to pass. McCarthy, those in the middle of the field. That's picked off at the 38-yard line. Running down the sideline and getting out of bounds at the 30, but time has run out.
Yeah, intercepted there by number 15, Gavin Miller. And believe it or not, Glenn, that was the guy that you told us to worry about. Tim Witchard actually came in and threw that pass.
Okay.
But nearly disaster, honestly, there for St. George's. That could have been a pick 6 to end the half, but it wasn't. And how about that? A very, really impressive first half for us here tonight on our Game of the Week.
All right. Our First State Ortho game of the week, as Pat just alluded to at the halftime, 13-7, the home team on top, Appo over St. George's. All right, coming up here during the half, we'll be back with some unofficial stats, the scoring of the first half. We'll also let you watch our top plays of last week, and we'll have a brief interview with Appoquinimink Athletic Director Chris Muscara. We'll do all that when we come back after these messages on Delaware Live, powered by 302 Sports.
First State Orthopedics statewide has 29 physicians at 16 locations. Our physicians and staff provide both non-surgical as well as surgical treatment for almost all orthopedic conditions and injuries. We are specially trained in the current state-of-the-art techniques. We serve as team physician and orthopedic consultant for over 20 high schools, Wilmington University, and many local recreational and competitive leagues. Our doctors are readily available to the local emergency departments as well as medical aid units and urgent care centers for consultation and treatment. Call for an appointment today or visit us at firststateortho.com.
We're back here at halftime. Glenn Fraser, and now being joined by the athletic director here, good friend of a program, good friend, period, here at Appo High, Chris Mosquera. And Chris, the thing I wanted to ask you about, and I've heard a lot of positive feedback, Appoquinimink School District instituting a new screening, scanning system here for all three high schools for football games at the stadiums, and it seems like it's really running smoothly. Why don't you talk to us about how this all came about and how it's working out?
It's been going great. I mean, at all three schools, we've been beta testing in the summer this Evolve system that we ended up purchasing and training on, and now we have it at all three schools before every home football game. And what it is it's not a metal detector, but it's an advanced weapons detection system. It's just like the ones that you see at the Phillies games at the airport. So really, we're not stopping. You're not stopping when you're coming through. We do have a bag policy. But we're not letting people bring in bags over a certain size. But other than that, you're getting your digital ticket checked at the front, your GoFan ticket, and then after that, you're walking straight through the system. And it's been great so far. Pretty seamless. It's no long lines at the front, and we're happy with it so far.
And I think that's been the key. It's just moving fans in the stadium quickly and not getting backed up with long lines. And it's been working well here at Odessa and at Middletown. And great job by you guys in the school district to get this installed. And it's very fan-friendly.
It is. And obviously, we're always talking about how safety is the number one priority, and we're not only talking about it, but we're putting the money where our mouth is and actually doing something about it. So it's been great. I mean, it's taken some time to get the staff acclimated with it, but so far so good, and we're happy about it, and we're happy that we're doing another level of security just to make sure that everybody's safe at all of our events.
We certainly thank you for your time. I know you got a lot of duties here on football night, and especially here at halftime, but I wanted to get that across to everybody. You're not going to wait in a long line when you come to Appo, Odessa, or Middletown this football season. Great job by the school district. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me on.
All right, that's Chris Mosquera. We're going to pay some more bills and hear from some of our great sponsors here on Delaware Live and we'll be back with some stats and scores around the state right after these messages on Delaware Live, powered by 302 Sports.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Solo Concepts. Today we're at Matt's Fish Camp in Fenwick Island, Delaware. Come check us out. Matt's Fish Camp features seafood classics, coastal comfort food, and chef-driven specials that pair perfectly with our large selection of craft ales, curated wine list, and camp cocktails. Matt's offers indoor and outdoor dining and is the perfect place to have dinner with your family, happy hour with friends, or enjoy lunch at the Raw Bar. Matt's Fish Camp in Fenwick Island, Delaware, open 7 days a week year-round. See you.
Wraps, signs, banners, and promotional items that can help your business stand out from the rest. Looking for an excellent way to convey a professional image? Customized promotional products are the perfect way to target new customers, increase employee retention, and boost your brand awareness. Let the professionals at Cassidy Graphics bring your advertising ideas to life. Give them a call today at 302-326-2412. Again, that number is 302-326-2412. Again, Cassidy Graphics brings your advertising ideas to life.
First State Orthopedic statewide has 29 physicians at 16 locations. Our physicians and staff provide both non-surgical as well as surgical treatment for almost all orthopedic conditions and injuries. We are specially trained in the current state-of-the-art techniques. We serve as team physician and orthopedic consultant for over 20 high schools, Wilmington University, and many local recreational and competitive leagues. Our doctors are readily available to the local emergency departments as well as medical aid units and urgent care centers for consultation and treatment. Call for an appointment today or visit us at firststateortho.com.
I would always pass by Ferris on Kirkwood Highway, so I knew that they existed. We stopped in the showroom. We just clicked, like from day one. They did a total kitchen renovation for us. Ferris was so organized. They were on top of everything from day one. Always here when they said they would be, always on time, kept to the schedule. The level of comfort speaking to everyone that works at Ferris, they were just super friendly, easy to talk to. It was like they were friends, not, people coming to work on our kitchen. The room is totally transformed from what it used to look like. To have all this seating now and the big table, the bench seats, it's great. I love coming home and just walking through the laundry room into the kitchen every day. It was just a great experience. We love Ferris.
High Five Hospitality. Back here during halftime at Appo High, where the Jaguars, the home team, has a 13-7 lead over St. George's at the half. St. George's will receive the opening kickoff to start the second half. Let's take a look at our scoring plays. Appo drove 75 yards in 7 plays to start the game. With 9:30 to go in the first quarter, it was a 5-yard touchdown run by Glover. The kick was good by number 30, Christian Towns. It was 7-0. That's the way the first quarter ended. In the second quarter, with 8:17 to go, St. George's received a 3-yard touchdown run by Montgomery. Thomas's kick tied the game at 7. And then the next time Appo got the ball, from their own 50 or 49-yard line, a pass was tipped by a defensive back, we think it was Womack, right into the hands of Carter, who raced 51 yards for the touchdown. The kick was blocked, and that's where we stand, 13-7, Appo on top. All right, let's take a look now at our unofficial stats in the first half. St. George's Tech with 99 yards rushing, 90 of those yards by Montgomery on 16 carries. His longest was 34 yards. And then McCarthy completed 5 of 8 passes for 66 yards, 157 total yards offense for St. George's first half. The interception that happened right on the last play of halftime was thrown by the punter, and that was
Tim Wichard.
Yeah, Wichard. All right, for Appo, on the ground, 91 yards, and that was all by Glover. 16 carries, 36 yards was his long. And then through the air, Nielsen was 6 out of 11 for 105 yards and a touchdown pass. Of course, half of that 105 on the touchdown pass on the tip drill.
Unbelievable. That definitely a play of the week nominee, Glenn. And sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, they say. You know what I mean? A little bit of luck always helps, man. And he definitely played the tip very well.
So that's going to set us up here, Pat, for the start of the third quarter, with Appo kicking into the teeth of the wind.
It is, and the flag, I know you can't see it on your screen, but it has adjusted to, instead of a cross-field wind, it is blowing from the St. George is going to be playing with the wind, and it is blowing end zone to end zone now.
So Christian Towns will kick it off. We would tell you who's back deep, but most of the times the ball doesn't get there.
And back deep is number 7.
That's Womack.
Womack, as well as Tay White, number 3.
Both of them dangerous with the football. They're standing at their own 20. End over end goes to Womack. He takes it on the run up at the 25. Scoots through some defenders on special teams, and he gets all the way up to midfield. Good starting position for the Hawks.
That was a great return, and there you go. The deferring to the second half works for them. They're down 13-7. Now they got the ball in midfield, an opportunity to reestablish themselves in this game.
With the wind at their back as well.
Yeah.
And again, McCarthy put the ball up eight times in the first half, completed 5.
Yeah, it is. The wind has definitely picked up here. You know, really around the second half of the second quarter, and now it's blowing. It's whipping.
Still, the receiver to the bottom of your screen. Handoff. Montgomery started it upside, bounced it outside, and then surges forward. I think he got about 4 yards down to the Appo 46.
Smart play there by Montgomery. Started to go outside. And, you know, I love a good north-south runner, Glenn. Yeah. And you start east-west, but he puts one foot in the turf, gets upfield, and turns if he tries to string that out, it's probably a 1 or 2 yard gain. Puts his foot in the turf, gets upfield, it turns into a 4 or 5 yard gain. I mean, you just got to take what the defense gives you.
Appo's done a pretty good job of setting the edge and not letting him get outside. Second down and 6 play from the Jags' 46-yard line. There's McCarthy into the belly of Montgomery again. Just pushes the pile. Oh, my goodness. He's going to be close to a first down.
He's just unreal. He's dragging guys out there.
Looks like they're going to give him credit for 5, so it'll be 3rd and 1.
And with a running game like this, you know, St. George's, it's going to help manage the clock against a high potent offense in Appo.
Now, all they need is a touchdown to tie the game. Since Appo's second score, they had the extra point blocked. Montgomery again stood up at the line. And this time, Gang tackled for no gain, so it's going to be 4th and short.
Von Brandt, nice work right there by the big fella, Leighton. He gets through there and tackles the legs of Montgomery. That's the key there against a powerful runner. You can't tackle around the hip. You got to get around those legs and squeeze them so that he can stop his momentum forward.
Are we going to see that bunched formation? Looks like we are.
Smart. Oh, I formation. A little power I here, Glenn.
Yeah. McCarthy under center. Turns, gives the ball to Montgomery, tries to bounce it outside. I don't think he got it. No, he stopped for a loss.
What a job there. Appo, another big-time stop on a 4th down. This time coming off the edge and making a play was number 3, Tyler Shane.
Tyler Shane was a game-time decision as to whether he was going to play. Well, he's playing and doing a good job of it.
Did a great job off the edge to stop the momentum. What a stop there by Appo to start it off. They give up a huge kick return. And then they don't allow St. George's to really get even started. They go 3 and out.
Exactly. All right, the Jags into the teeth of the wind. 1st and 10, good field position, their own 42-yard line, maybe the 43. Nielsen and the gun. Hands off to Glover, bounces it outside, cuts inside of a block, and has a first down at the 47.
Great run right there by Glover. Way to read his holes. And then again, foot in the turf, get upfield, turns that into a first down run.
That's how he got that big gainer to start the game, 36-yarder. He gets his first double-digit run since then. Picks up 11 there and a first down for Appo. Their own 47-yard line. Trips to the top of your screen, lone receiver to the bottom. And now we've got some premature movement along the line, and a plethora of yellow flags come out.
Von Brandt, he jumped. Definitely a little mix-up on the snap count right there.
Yep, so it'll be 1st and 15. Back on Appo's side of the midfield stripe of the 48. And I don't know whether you could hear it or not, but a little bit of coaching staff stomping on the top of the press box up above us.
That is what that was. You're right.
This time trips to the top of your screen. Lone receiver to the bottom is Drummond. Nielsen back to pass. Throws far flat. Connects. And breaking a tackle, doing a good job. Now they're going to say he stepped out. So they're going to get the 5 yards of penalty yardage back. And it'll be 2nd and 10. On the catch is Montabell.
Nice work there by Montabell. Good read by Nielsen to get the penalty yardage back. You know, just take what the defense gives you. They didn't allow the deep pass to get open. Takes the short route. Montabell, if he doesn't step out of bounds, has a chance to break that tackle and make a play. But unfortunately for him, he stepped on the white line.
2nd and 10. Back in Hawks territory at the 47. Handoff, Glover. Gets inside of a defender just shy of the 40-yard line. Good pickup of about 6.
There's a penalty. Let's see if this is a hold. You know, it looked like there was a potential that Munson was held on this near edge. Let's see if that's what they call.
And the official, the white hat, head referee, takes the football. Now this is where the new NFHS rule comes into play this year. This will be not a spot foul. They're going to take it back to the line of scrimmage, and they'll step off the holding penalty from there.
Wow, how about that? That is an interesting rule, Glenn.
It keeps teams, let's say your passer went back and tried to set up a screen, so he's like 8 yards deep, and then the hold is like 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
18-yard penalty.
Yeah. So instead of marching it off there, and now you got, let's say first down and half the field.
Right.
It's just a 10-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage. I thought it was a good rule change. So 2nd down and 20 now for Appo. Nielsen back. Pressure's coming. He's flushed out of the pocket, and he's brought down and sacked at the 35.
There's the senior DN, Amir Jones. Well done coming off the edge and would not allow Nielsen to escape. How about that? So they get the holding penalty, and they back it up with a sack. That's a great start here by St. George's after a 3-and-out.
First sack of the ball game. And now Appo has 3rd down and Odessa. 8 minutes, 5 seconds to go here, 3rd quarter.
If you're St. George's, you got to stay disciplined here with the screen game potentially here. They tried to throw one earlier. Appo did.
Nielsen back to pass. Pressure. No, it's a draw play. Glover broke one tackle on the backfield. Spin move. Got back to about the 44-yard line. And then Appo will have 4th and long from there.
Another penalty marker.
Another one? I'm thinking St. George might they might decline this one.
Yeah, they might. It depends on how well they want to play field position here, because that's a good run for Glover to push the ball down the field another 10 yards. Let's see. Depends on what. It looks like they're going to talk to Coach Wilson.
Yeah.
He may take them back, just like I said, because of the field. Then you got to punt into the wind.
Yeah. Good point, Pat. So it was an 8-yard carry. And we'll wait for the referee to get out here and make the call after talking to head coach John Wilson.
How about the officials with microphones so that the folks in the stadium can hear the call?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, I do too. Personal foul against Appo.
I didn't turn the microphone on for that. There's the decline, Glenn.
Yeah,
so
4th down. So they take the 8-yard carry. So the Jags will go 3 and out. And really, since midway through the second quarter, the defenses are starting to take control.
They are. The adjustments have definitely been made on the defensive side, Glenn. And these two teams are very, very evenly matched. And that's part of the appeal that we had when we were looking to pick a game of the week.
Gavin Miller back to punt. Good snap. Pressure's coming. Just got it off.
Wow.
And I don't think there's going to be a return here. No, wisely. St. George's lets it roll dead, and Appo will down it inside the Hawks' 30-yard line.
And this will be a good time. We mentioned it. It's our game of the week brought to you by First State Orthopedics. Our official game of the week sponsor, First State Orthopedics, is 29 physicians at 16 locations, which provide surgical and non-surgical treatment for a variety of orthopedic conditions and are specially trained in the current state-of-the-art techniques. They serve as team physicians for over 20 high schools, Wilmington University, and many local recreational and competitive leagues. Their doctors are readily available to all the local emergency departments, medical aid, and urgent care centers for consultation and treatment. Give them a call, 302-322-3400, or visit firststateortho.com. And be sure to mention you saw them here on Delaware Live Sports.
Good run on first down by Montgomery. He just shy of the first down marker. I think he's going to pick up 9 yards. He does. Got a score for you. Salesianum on the board up at Abyssinia. They have a 7-0 lead over Smyrna with 7:37 to go in the half.
Is that B.J. Aline with the touchdown? Looks
short
like.
run. And I'm wondering if the wind up there is going to kind of neutralize Smyrna's potent passing attack.
And Montgomery gets the first down here. Yeah, and both quarterbacks, right? I mean,
right.
They're running the 2-quarterback system right now. Kind of breaking the mold on that one, Glenn. You know, a lot of folks have kind of been taboo about the 2-quarterback.
Yeah.
If you got 2 quarterbacks, you don't have one. Or you don't have any or whatever. They try to make that saying. It's worked for Smyrna so far this year.
Yeah, they're scoring a lot of points. Of course, they played 2 very good out-of-state Pennsylvania teams and lost to both of them in close games. But they've been giving up a lot of points. 1st and 10. Montgomery gets it. He eludes a defender in the backfield, and then he's pulled down for a 2-yard loss back at the 40.
Hey, that's just great work there by Appo, stopping the north-south appeal that, really benefits Montgomery. They got him going east and west, and they swarmed him for the loss. And it looks like Leighton Von Brandt is uncomfortable.
Oh.
He was trying to get off the field. He needs some assistance. Hopefully everything's okay there.
So injury timeout by the officials with 6:04 to go in this third quarter. It was 13-7 at the half. It's still 13-7. And Von Brandt gets up and limping just a little. Hopefully that's all it is.
Young man, he was with us on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Whole team pretty much gave great support with the teammates for the captains that came on and spoke with us.
Yeah. Von Brandt comes from a great football family. His dad's one of the assistant coaches. Older brother Kurt is at VMI. And 1 year older brother Edge playing defense. So Von Brandt checks out. It's 2nd and 12 for St. George's back at their own 40-yard line.
And a win looks like it's yet again picked up, and it's going sideline to sideline again.
McCarthy hands it off to Montgomery. Cuts it back nicely into territory of the Jags, just barely at the 49, and he's going to gain 10.
Great blocking again. They set the edge, and Montgomery was able to plant the foot and get north and south on that run, which is where his strength is, and sets up a 3rd down and extremely manageable here for the St. George's offense.
Both he and Glover run rather similarly.
They do.
They start going to the outside, and then they'll plant and then slash through the line, and both of them have made good yardage tonight.
It's my favorite kind of running backs. I've always liked it.
3rd and 2. And now we've got a whistle before this play gets underway.
They weren't lined up right. You saw the sophomore safety, Gavin Miller, yelling to the sidelines, we need a timeout.
Yeah.
We're not lined up right.
Yeah.
And they got it in time. They're going to burn a timeout here in the 3rd quarter, but they did not like what they saw.
Keep it right here with the timeout. Let's update you on some scores. Of course, last night you heard it and saw it right here on Delaware Live. St. Mark's 29-0 over Red Lion. Tatnall beat Glasgow 22-0 today. 25-13. First State Military beat Seaford. And they're now 3-1 on the year, and their only loss was in overtime to Wilmington Charter. 48-7, Cape Big over Lake. Lake without their two first-team and second-team quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Tough break for the Spartans this year. Salesianum leading Smyrna 7-0 midway through the second quarter. And Middletown out in Ohio losing to Massillon 28-0 in the second quarter.
What an opportunity. Obviously, we talked about Smyrna playing some out-of-state opponents. Dover's played some out-of-state opponents. Now Middletown. That's just great experience for these kids. Great exposure.
Straight ahead with Montgomery. Pushes the pile, gets the first down at the 45 of Appo. Now, I talked to some Middletown fans about last year because Middletown went out there last year, and they said it was a great experience. The fans out there were so accommodating, and I'm sure that's why they went back.
Yeah, and, you know, it's a good opportunity for these guys to go play a high-level program and take on that challenge. And, you know, right now that's just here you go. You want to know what you're like compared to the rest of the country. This is what it's like.
Yeah. Remember last year Middletown played IMG down in Florida.
They did. And, again, it's a good barometer.
No, it's a quarterback keeper that time by McCarthy. He surged forward for about 4 yards before he stood up and thrown back.
Yeah, that's all offensive line work right there. Last two plays for that St. George's front, they did a really good push. Both Montgomery on the third down carry to pick up the first down, and then the keeper there from McCarthy. Yeah. And again, that's a good 3-4 yard gain on first down, Glenn. Keeps you ahead of the sticks, keeps you on schedule.
I'm sure if you're an Appo fan now, your defense, you just want them to grind that clock. Hopefully they can hold St. George's with just 4 minutes to go in the third. Then they'll have the wind at their backs in the fourth quarter. But we've had no scoring since early in the second quarter. It's a fake. McCarthy running for his life, fumbles the ball. And I think St. George's recovered it and actually gained a couple of yards.
Yeah, that was
one of the linemen.
That's Alexis McVeigh-Maza caught that one out of the air. But, yeah, dangerous there. McCarthy with that ball loose trying to scramble around. That is always a scary situation as a quarterback. Not one you want to be in, carrying that ball loose like that.
So what could have been disastrous for St. George's ends up they got a third down and about 4. Down to 3:15 to go in the third. St. George's a little confused here in this alignment. Now they got Womack split to the bottom, trips to the top. Handoff to Montgomery, trying to get the far edge. Gets around one defender and then out of bounds shy of the first down.
Great work there by Appo, stringing them out.
Cofield was the first player to kind of make the play. I didn't see who finished him off.
It's just a good job there by those guys out there on the edge for Appoquinimink, not allowing Montgomery to get the edge and setting us this fourth down up.
Is this the third fourth down attempt, and I think they've been stopped on every one.
Let's see what they have here. I mean, they like to run between the tackles, and that's kind of strength on strength with these two teams.
All right, here we go. Fourth down play for the Hawks. Inside the 40 of the Jags.
Timeout.
Yep.
Not happy with the lineup there.
Boy, Coach Wilson got out there in a hurry, didn't he?
Yeah.
That's the second timeout the Hawks have used. They only have one left, and we have just under 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter. A scoreless third quarter, Pat. Like we said, I think the defense has made some nice adjustments in the locker room.
They did, and, they've both teams have stepped up with big plays in this one, Glenn, and, we kind of figured this was going to be a knockdown, drag-out fight. Early on, I was surprised with the effectiveness of the passing game, with the wind being the way that it is. Was kind of anticipating more of what we've seen in the second half, both teams looking to attack on the ground. But this has been fun, man.
Yeah.
It's a good one for you to come back to, my friend. I mean, this is just good old-fashioned football.
I thought I picked out a couple of good games for you week 1 and 2 with
Yes.
Middletown Central and Appo and Dover, but ended up being a little bit lopsided scoreboard. Yeah, this was a good competitive ball game. 4th and 2. McCarthy, play action, takes it himself, and he slides and has the first down just inside the Appo 35.
Really smart play by McCarthy. Really sold the run to Montgomery. Obviously, the defense is going to give the leading rusher for the Hawks a lot of attention. Pulled it last minute, and then he didn't take a hit.
No.
He got the first down yardage. He knew where he needed to get. Once he passed it, he got down, got safe, and lived to fight another down. Like that play from the quarterback for St. George's.
Good call. Good timeout by John Wilson to put that call in. McCarthy hands off to Montgomery. And now another whistle. Where we didn't have too many penalties in the first half, we've had quite a few here in the second half so far. Offside against Appo.
Say it.
So it'll be 1st and 5. As the clock is stopped, Pat, with about 2.5 minutes to go in this third quarter.
Last time this situation happened, Appo came up huge.
That's right.
And forced a 3 and out. Let's see if they can do the same.
Official winds up, gets the clock running. Wide out split to the bottom of your screen is still. And 2 receivers to the top. McCarthy has Montgomery to his right. Takes it himself. And he has a first down. He is fast.
Yeah, and you know what? This could be something they start to feature a little bit more. I mean, obviously coming into the game, he only had 33 yards rushing. But there's been a few times with the attention that Montgomery's going to get, you know, as this season goes on and he reintroduces himself to the state, teams are going to start trying to take him away, and that's going to open up opportunities for McCarthy to make plays with his legs. He's done so now on 2 plays in this drive.
He's done a nice job with the read option. He puts that ball right in the belly of Montgomery and then makes the decision. Does it again, takes it, throws it out in the far flat, pass is complete, and then fumbled, I guess, out of bounds. Are they going to call it a catch?
It's always dangerous when you reach the football out like that.
Yeah. It's going to be down near the 15-yard line.
I was going to say, I think he gained an extra yard or 2 because he fumbled it forward.
Yeah.
It was, but there you go. There's the read option again, and then he has the ability to pull it and throw the football if the defense sucks all the way up. He found Askins Brooks, and that's a good 9-yard play on first down.
First pass completion, first pass of the second half for McCarthy. Gives it to the belly of Montgomery. He pushes the pile just close to the 10. I think they're going to mark him down just shy of the 10-yard line.
So that means they can get the first down without scoring here. It's not a goal to go.
Right.
This is the kind of drive that St. George's needed, Glenn. I mean, they get the ball back with a little over 5 minutes to go, and they could pretty much churn the third quarter out right now.
They can. This is only their second drive of the third quarter. Appo's had the ball just once and went 3 and out. Receiver in motion to the near side. Hand off to Montgomery. Somebody came up and stuck him good right at the line of scrimmage.
Dylan Griffith.
Yep.
That's the second time he's come up and laid a smackdown on a ball carrier. He did one earlier on a pass play. That's just a good hit from the safety.
And to think he was a game-time decision.
Yeah.
Second down and 10 outside the 10-yard line. Looks like it might be closer to the 12. McCarthy takes it himself again, straight ahead. Just got inside the 10. They're going to mark him down shy of the 8.
And big Demir Milam comes up on that tackle after the 3-yard gain. Nice work by number 58 in maroon there.
Clock down under 15 seconds to go as St. George's has the wind in their backs. But can they score with the wind? Pass. Womack makes the catch, and he's in the end zone for the touchdown. He caught it in the flat, break a couple of tackles as time runs out on the third quarter, and that's huge because now the point after is with the win.
And don't think for 1 second they didn't think about that, Glenn. They rushed up to the line, snapped the ball. That's kind of like that wide receiver middle screen you used to see Oklahoma, the Sooners run in the Sam Bradford days when they had all those weapons and that high potent offense. And really nice blocking out there on the edge. And then great work by Womack. He can make some plays when the ball is in his hands. And he single-handedly found his way into the end zone there. Huge play.
Big extra point here. We're tied at 13. Thomas gets it up, has the distance, and it's good. So the Hawks take a 14-13 lead into the fourth quarter. We'll be back for that fourth quarter of action right after this on Delaware Live, powered by 302 Sports.
I'll tell you what, man, Andrew Thomas making himself.
First State Orthopedic statewide has 29 physicians at 16 locations. Our physicians and staff provide both non-surgical as well as surgical treatment for almost all orthopedic conditions and injuries. We are specially trained in the current state-of-the-art techniques. We serve as team physician and orthopedic consultant for over 20 high schools, Wilmington University, and many local recreational and competitive leagues. Our doctors are readily available to the local emergency departments as well as medical aid units and urgent care centers for consultation and treatment. Call for an appointment today or visit us at firststateortho.com.
All right, Glenn Fraser alongside Pat Garriantes as we are ready for fourth quarter action here. Tight ball game. St. George is leading now 14-13, and we just had a score at the half. Salesianum 7, Smyrna nothing. Kick to the far side, coming up, bobbling it, picking it up, shaking two special team defenders, and then finally going down at the 22.
That was Griffith there, and you saw the wind playing its games. That ball's in the air. It looks like it's got plenty of room to get to him, and then at the very last minute, Dylan Griffith has got to run up to try and catch it. And that little hesitation didn't allow him to really get going.
Let's see what the Jags do. Wind at their backs now. They have only run 3 offensive plays in an entire quarter. That's the ball control offense of St. George's there in that third quarter.
It's huge. And, you know, with this kind of an offensive attack for St. George's, it's imperative for them not to fall down by multiple scores. They've kept their defense has kept them in this game. And now the game plan is strong with that run game. And now a 1-point lead.
Trips to the bottom of your screen. Lone receiver to the top. Appo from their own 22-yard line. Nielsen back to pass. Surveys the field. Slant pattern. Has Noah Hoff up at the 35-yard line. Trying to get to the far edge at the 40, 45, 50. And out of bounds with a big first down for the Jags.
Here's that timing route again. They clear out 2 defenders, and Hoff runs himself a dig route, slant route. And wonderfully thrown by Nielsen, and then it lets Noah Hoff, who's one of the big game breakers within the state, playmakers, and he makes a play there, gets him across midfield.
29 yards on the pass play from the St. George's 49-yard line. First and 10 for the Jags. Nielsen puts it into the belly of Glover, right through the middle of the line, and good gain on first down. He has about 7 yards.
Nice work, 2 good plays there for Appo after, like you said, Glenn, a 3 and out as their only possession in the third.
I think officially called that a 6-yard pickup for Glover. Second down and 4 for the Jags. 2-by-2 with the receivers. Nielsen looks near side. Gets it out there to Hoff quick, but off of his fingertips and incomplete.
That's rare. You don't see that. Noah Hoff usually very, very sure-handed. And that one couldn't quite haul in. Third down and manageable still for the Appo Jags.
Stops the clock with 11-12 to go in the ball game. And the difference right now is a blocked extra point.
Yeah, by the guy who's made the 2 extra points, Andrew Thomas.
Trips to the top of your screen. Nielsen steps back, looks over. That's a timing pattern. He has his receiver complete. Forward progress will get a first down as they come up off the turf, and that was Montabell on the reception.
It's so good, Glenn. You know, as a former quarterback myself, at least attempted to play quarterback, the quick pass game like this and these timing routes, pick a defense, I just appreciate the heck out of it, man, because it's so hard to be good at.
And that was a tight window.
Yeah, it was.
Nielsen gives it to Glover, bounces it outside, stiff arms a defender, trying to fight to the 30. He's going to come up a little short at about the 32, but still a good 5-6 yard gain on first down.
This is a great answer from Appo. There's a chance, the wind deflates out of your sails there after that touchdown. But no, they're coming right back out. No panic in this Jaguar team. And they're looking to respond.
Nielsen in the gun. Glover to his left. Back to pass. Sets up. Throws the home run ball. Looking for Hoff.
Oh!
Diving catch. Oh, and he dropped it. He hit the turf, and it came out.
It's a little bit on the inside there from Nielsen. He's missed on the inside a couple of different times. One obviously turned into the touchdown off the deflection, but the other two have fallen incomplete now. Great effort there by Hoff, but he couldn't quite haul that. I think, like you said, Glenn, once he hit the ground, that ball jarred loose.
Came out, yeah. So it sets up third down and a long 4.
Great route, though.
Yeah.
He had him beat.
Receivers. 2 to the top, 1 to the bottom of your screen. Hand off to Glover. Slashes through the left side. Has a first down as he's hit by Womack inside the 25.
Good answer there. Going to the ground game to pick up the first down after the miss on the deep route.
I'll tell you what, Womack's been impressive tonight, too, on both sides of the ball.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Appo, fresh set of downs at the St. George's 25-yard line. Nielsen throws, a little slant pattern over the head of the intended receiver, incomplete.
His play was blown dead.
Yeah, it wasn't going to count.
And he missed high. That's always dangerous across the middle. You do not want to miss high across the middle. It's only really the second miss he had.
Got a legal motion, a legal shift. So that's going to make it second down and 15.
Repeat the down.
That's right, first and 15. Back at the 30-yard line. Clock stopped, or running rather, with 9:45 to go in the ball game. Next week, we'll be at Dover High. Salesianum visiting the Dover Senators.
That should be a good one, Glenn. First chance for us to take in Sally's this year.
Nielsen back to pass, throws far flat, completes it to Montebello, and he is drilled right when he gets the ball.
I think he dropped it. Because of the hit, Aiden Jones, the sophomore cornerback, saw an opportunity to lay a vicious hit out there, and it was a clean hit.
Yeah,
it was a clean hit.
Wow.
Wow.
And the receiver, Montebello, is down on the turf. It looks like, yeah, it doesn't look like they're spotting this, so it's going to be incomplete. It'll be second and 15.
What a hit.
Yeah.
By Jones.
Oh.
And obviously, we're hoping that, Montebello's okay. Maybe just the wind knocked out of him. It's, not sure.
Hearing unofficially up there at Abyssinia that Salesiana missed a 27-yard field goal at the end of the half. So it's just a 7-0 lead, and apparently Elaine has been the difference in the game. He has over 100 yards rushing in the half.
Got to update the Hillers of Tower Hill on top of Concord, 24-0 in that game. Middletown scores 28-7 at halftime.
Okay. And in Major League Baseball, Phillies fans trailing the Mets 2-0 in the 6th.
That's a final. Caravel 21, Laurel 3.
21-3, Caravel. And quite possibly maybe the biggest test in 2A so far for them.
Yeah. They're looking good, man.
Yeah.
They're deep, Caravel.
They are.
Very deep.
All right, second down, 15 play. Nielsen back to pass, loads up, throws down the sideline, looking for Hoff, jump ball, and off the fingertips. Good defense there, too. breaking that one up.
A little bit of contact there, but couldn't haul that one in. Out there at the cornerback position was number 20, Jaden Dumeza.
Okay.
They took their shot. They've been trying to get Noah Hoff, who's got the height advantage over Dumeza. They've tried to been taking those deep shots with him. Haven't been able to connect yet.
I'm pretty sure I would think we're in 2-down territory for Appo. I don't know what kind of a leg their field goal kicker has. A strong wind at his back, but a field goal would be the difference in the game and give them the lead. But, well, let's see what happens here. 3rd and 15 at the Hawks 30.
It'd be about a 46-yarder.
And now I think Appo's going to have to call a timeout. No, they're going to say delay a game. So now it's going to be 3rd and 20.
Unsure which direction to go here. And play clock starting again, so they need to get themselves set up and ready to go. Some substitutions. Dylan Griffith going to come on the field. A tight end. Yard is going to come off.
Right. Tight end.
So they're going with straight skills here.
Hoff, split to the bottom of your screen.
And they're at under 5, and there's another delay of game.
You're kidding me.
The play's not coming in.
I think that time Appo called a timeout. Yep.
And they do right before the penalty is.
Yeah, they couldn't afford another one, Pat.
It's unsure. Guys not lining up right.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a big point in this game, and that's a good timeout from Coach Timpson to preserve the additional 5 yards.
As it stands right now, it's 3rd down and 20. Back at the 35-yard line of the Hawks.
Got to try and get half here and half on 4th. That's how you got to think about it.
I would think so. And you might be looking at some kind of wide receiver screen here, maybe.
Perhaps.
Griffith has got some good wheels. So does Montabell. So does Hoff.
And that wind is blowing straight through the Appo end zone.
Yeah. All right, so you're going to have Griffith, Drummond, and Carter split to the top of your screen. Hoff to the bottom. He's more in a slot. And here's the 3rd and 20 play. Nielsen takes a snap. Pressure's coming. He unloads middle of the field. It's caught for a touchdown.
Griffith.
Dylan Griffith. He had 2 receivers down there, and Griffith caught the pass behind the secondary.
Well, and that's it. They kind of caught the secondary flat-footed. They run the 4 verts look. If you played Madden growing up, they just ran everybody down the field. And beautiful, again, the timing of this offense. They talked about it on Wednesday, and it's again wonderfully done here. The secondary guys weren't able to get back into their zones fast enough, and while they were turning to try and flip the hips and run, right down the field goes Griffith beautifully in stride for a big-time go-ahead touchdown.
If you're Appo here, you got to go for 2. Make up for that blocked extra point. That's what they're going to try to do. Nielsen looks near side, and it's deflected and intercepted.
Yep.
And the try did not work, but it's a 19-14 lead now for the Jags with 9:13 to go in the game, and they're going to put the onus now on their defense.
He was a little bit behind Temple on the 2-point conversion. He was open. He just threw it behind him. But, yeah, you're right. And just a great throw by Nielsen. Griffith with a good route down the seam. And that's the answer that the Jags were looking for. After we saw nothing but confusion the last 2 times they delay a game and then almost a second delay a game that forced them to take a timeout, Coach Timpson preserves the yardage and makes sure that they understood what they wanted to do there on that 3rd down play. It turns out to be a huge and successful timeout right there, Glenn. Potentially game-changing, depending on how this thing goes. Still got 9 minutes plus to go, but that's just a wonderful job there by the Jags.
9:13 left in this one. And it's been a 1-possession game from the get-go.
That it has. This has been fun. This has been a really fun one.
These are the kinds you like, huh?
Absolutely.
Towns to kick it off with the win. Womack and Tay White are dangerous return men. High end over end.
It's going to go to Womack.
Womack at the 10. Middle of the field, 15. Tries to get to the outside, spun around, and gang tackled up at the 25-yard line. Good special teams coverage by the Jags. St. George's with the ball, and the last time, they just moved right on down the field.
That they did, and did it through the air. They did it through the run game. You know, obviously Montgomery has been a huge part of their offense, but McCarthy on some of those keepers, Glenn, the last drive, he really helped pick up some big first downs.
And he hit Womack with a touchdown pass.
And he hit Womack with the touchdown pass. So plenty of time for this offense.
Plenty of time is right. Womack split to the bottom of your screen. McCarthy in the gun. Montgomery to his left. Montgomery gets the football, and he breaks the tackle at the line of scrimmage, and he'll get about 5 yards out to the 30.
Hey, he was initially hit in the backfield by number 57, Gavin Johns. But, again, he's been breaking tackles all night.
Yeah.
And turns what could have been a loss of 1 into a gain of 4. Appo band. Putting some motion in the bleachers, Glenn.
Yeah, they're shaking the press box.
Yeah.
Well, now if you're a St. George's fan, what you want here, Coach Wilson and his offense, is use as much clock as you can to get down the field and score. Montgomery again trying to come to the near side, trying to get the edge. Penalty flag is thrown, and he's gang tackled for a loss back at the 37. But let's check the flag.
It's usually, and again, they try and get these east-south or east-west runs.
Yeah.
And it's going to you run the risk of the hold, and I think that could be what we have here. Not to mention, Cam Montgomery's strength is getting north and south.
It is. He can start out east to west, but when he plants and he makes that slash and cut, that's when he's more effective.
And they try to run that zone read to get him out here, and great job by Appo not giving him a cutback lane.
Now the decision by Coach Brian Timpson, do you take the play and the loss, or do you bring it ball back to the line of scrimmage and march off the holding penalty? So it is a hold, and it's declined. He's going to take the loss on the play. So that's going to make it 2nd down and 10 after a 5-yard loss.
3rd down and 10.
3rd down.
Yeah, they didn't flip that yard marker
Yeah.
yet, huh?
Yeah, I'm struggling to see the scoreboard, and I'm looking at the down marker guy, and he's not helping me out.
He failed us.
Yep.
Oh!
Big hit in the back. That's number 57, Gavin Johns, again with a sack.
Great work by Johns. He missed the tackle on the first down play. He made up for it with a huge 3rd down sack to force a punt. Nice
so
work.
Appo's going to get the ball back with the lead and 7:50 to go.
Yeah, that's a huge defensive stop right there from the Jaguars. Trying to assert some momentum. And so, we've been asking somebody to take a hold of this game, right? They've been back and forth. Appo with an opportunity potentially here to take a 2-possession lead. Oh, it's a bobbled punt.
He gets it off. It's partially blocked.
Oh, this is a huge opportunity.
Great field position for Appo inside the 20-yard line of the Hawks.
Huge opportunity here for Appo. I mean, it just flat out bobbled back there. Snap was a little low. Richard couldn't quite get the handle of it, and he tried to rush and get it off. It was a low trajectory punt, and it was blocked.
So, can the Jags extend their lead? Or will the defense of Coach Wilson and the Hawks tighten up and have a stand here? This is a crucial drive in the game.
And there's no more appropriate song for that moment than Welcome to the Jungle.
It's Glover, slashes through the middle, and he gets down close to the 15-yard line on 1st down, a gain of 5.
Great 1st down run. Would love to see Glover, and you saw him there towards the end. 2 hands on the football.
Yeah.
You got a golden opportunity ahead of you. The last thing you want to do is turn the football back over.
Glover is a senior. And, of course, he's the feature back now with Daniel McConaughey sideline. Glover gets it again, slashes, stumbles forward, and I think he's just shy of the 1st down at the 11.
It looks like it, and he looked like he was tripped up. He had a huge hole.
Yeah.
So it was definitely going to be 1st down yardage on that play.
Let's credit the Appo left side of the line there. Aaron Hall and Leighton Von Brandt. Good blocking. So it's third and less than a yard, just outside the Hawks' 10-yard line. Nielsen remains in the gun. Hands it off to Glover. He spun around.
Oh,
it's going to depend on the spot. I'm not sure he got it.
That's a great stand by St. George's, even if they give him forward progress, to even make that a close play. Wonderful job. And that was led there by O'Day Morgan. I don't think he got it, Glenn.
No,
down.
It's 4th and 1. And one thing that hurts Appo a little bit on these short yardage situations is Nielsen's not under center.
Mm-hmm.
He's 4 or 5 yards back in the gun with Glover back there with him. So if they don't get a good surge to the line of scrimmage, it's hard to get that short yardage.
Well, and the running back doesn't get that running start to get the forward progress once he hits the line of scrimmage.
I think Appo's going to let the clock run down and call timeout. They do. This is a big play in the game. Clock stopped with 5:41 to go, Pat.
Yeah, good. Well, last time out, Coach Timpson took, when there was a little bit of confusion, ended up working out for him. So take them. This is why they give them to you. A big moment, much like the 3rd and 20 was a big moment for them. Take it and make sure you get the perfect play for yourselves.
Tower Hill now leads Concord 24-0 in the 4th quarter. Massey on Washington, Ohio 28, Middletown 7. You already called that one at the half. All right, timeout is over. Here's the big play, maybe the play of the game.
Could be.
4th and less than a yard for the Jags, just outside the Hawks' 10-yard line.
He's going to line up under center, Glenn. You asked for it. You got it, my friend.
And he just goes straight forward over his center, and he should have the first down inside the 10.
Great work by the center for this offense, Miko Gibson. You got to love it. You got to love when you're right. Great offensive mind, Glenn Frazier.
All right, 1st and goal at the 9.
Bill Walsh. Bill Walsh style.
Yeah. All right, now's when I got to stand because we're at that point where I got to lean out the press box window here. Clock running, 5:20 to go in the game. Nielsen hands it off to Glover. Not much there for him. I don't think he gained anything.
Yeah, good stop. That defensive front bared down. And it looked like in there on the mix was number 77 there, Rollins Cronin, as well as the middle linebacker, Johnson Richardson.
Let's see if Appo tries to air it out a little bit here to try to get into the end zone.
It worked. It's been working for him all night. I mean, the passing game's been very efficient.
Again, a lot of time getting the play in. 2nd and goal from the 9. And he's still looking to the sideline like they don't like the play. They're going to have to call timeout.
That's their last timeout, Glenn.
A lot of confusion getting the play in from the sideline.
And, sometimes, you don't know where the breakdown's at,
no,
right? You don't know where we can only speculate up here. But when you run these kind of offenses where you're relying on signals to come in from the sideline, and you're this deep, and the quarterback and everyone's got to be completely turned around to get the signal from you, and then turn back around and get set.
Yeah,
it can cause some issues. But how about that? Depending on how this ends up, no timeouts left for Appo.
Exactly.
We'll see how this works. Let's see how this plays out.
Yeah, they've kind of a little been off schedule here in this 4th quarter. In this drive, they've had a couple delay of games. They've had to burn timeouts because they just can't get the play in that they want. All right, here we go. Try it again. 2nd and goal from the 9.
Look for these choice routes with these inside receivers in particular.
Let's look for Dylan Griffith again then. He's in the slot to the top of your screen. Back to pass. Pressure's coming. He's got to run with it. Nielsen does at the 10, at the 5, and out of bounds inside the 5.
Got a penalty marker. It's going to be a hold against Appo on the scramble.
I'm sure Coach Wilson will take that penalty and step it off.
Absolutely. Nielsen made the right decision. Nothing was open.
Yeah.
Tried to make something happen with his feet and actually turned that into a positive play. But on those scrambles.
Here's our head referee. Yeah, there's the holding call.
It's tough on offensive linemen when these breakdowns start to happen. And,
yeah.
You know, you got to hold your block for 4, 5, 6 seconds.
So it comes back out. It should be from the line of scrimmage stepping it off. And the ball is back where it should be at the Hawks' 19-yard line, 2nd and goal from there. Clock at 4:26 to go in the ball game. Nielsen back. Has to run for his life again. Pump fake, and he's dragged down from behind about the 12-yard line.
And another penalty marker again on the scramble. Is this another hold?
It is.
Oh, man.
Another hold.
This is backbreaking for Appo.
Yeah, they started this drive at the 20-yard line.
Yeah.
After the pooched punt.
And again, situations like this pop up, and you're getting further and further back.
Yeah.
No timeouts if this gets it late into a game.
Right.
It's one possession. Who knows?
So if they take the penalty yardage, it's going to be back at the 29-yard line, and it'll be.
Yeah, but it's another opportunity to chew more clock. So it's like that's the decision. Do you take the down so you can get the ball back quicker,
right,
but give the shorter field to Appo, or do you take the yardage and maybe sacrifice another 40 seconds or so?
And that's what the delay is here. Coach Wilson trying to make the decision. Does he want 3rd and goal from the 12 or replay 2nd and goal? Declined. He's going to take the play.
Yeah, he's going to try and he's going to trust his defense here and try to preserve some clock for a late 4th quarter drive.
Right. So the ball goes back to the 12. It's 4th and goal from the 12. Excuse me. Trips to the top of your screen. Lone receiver Hoff to the bottom. Nielsen back again. Throws it middle of the field, and it's intercepted in the end zone. Womack comes out with it, and he'll get out across the 10 to about the 14, maybe the 15-yard line. And the defense for the Hawks holds.
Great work there by St. George's. And again, I've stated it a few times. You do not want to miss high across the middle of the field. That time it come back to bite them. Not the worst thing because they did secure the tackle. But St. George's has life now. And again, 3:50 to go with a run offense. But they do have the ability and have shown the ability to make some plays in the air, especially with Womack. Hold on to your horses. Hold on. We're coming in for a landing here.
So Womack has made some big plays in the game. He makes another one there. 1st and 10 from their own 15 for the Hawks. Quarterback McCarthy takes it himself. And he stood up as he crosses the 20 out to about the 22-yard line. Good gain on 1st down.
Hey, you're not kidding. And again, all the attention goes to Montgomery, and McCarthy's ability to make things happen with his feet's been huge. 9 yards on 1st down. This offense is going to look to get this first down and get in a rhythm as the time is winding down. I believe 2 timeouts left for St. George's, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 2, might be 1.
Might be.
Handoff Montgomery. Tries to weave his way. He is met at the center of the field and thrown back. Forward progress is going to be close to the 1st down.
Technically, it looks like the marker's at the 25. Looks like they gave him the 25. That should be 1st down. Oh, a little bit. Yeah, they give it to him. All right.
Yeah, nose of the football. Fresh set of downs. Under 3 minutes to go. Wide out, split to the bottom of your screen is Womack. 2 receivers to the top. McCarthy's back to pass, looks top of the screen, throws it over there, completes the pass, but having to dive to get the reception, he goes down immediately as Still.
I'll tell you what, good hands catch there by Still. It's 3-4 yards. Clock is running, though. At some point, the chunk play is going to have to happen here for St. George's.
McCarthy again. Quarterback draw up the middle of the field. About 2 yards shy of the 1st down at the 34.
Yeah, they got to get going. This is the downside of having like this 4 yards in a cloud of dust offense.
Yeah, 3rd down and 1, 2 minutes to go in the game. It's Montgomery, bounces it to the outside, picks his spot, and gets the 1st down across the 35 to the 38.
Clock will stop with 2:01 temporarily. No huddle offense here for St. George's. Again, chunk play is going to have to happen here at some point.
Womack split to the bottom of your screen. Slot receiver down here as well. Back to pass, throws in the near flat. Womack makes the catch, makes one man miss, carries defenders out across the 45 to the 47, a yard shy of the 1st.
Good work. There they go. They try and get the ball into their playmakers' hands. Womack picks up 9. 1 minute and 30 seconds to go.
Tick, tick, tick. 2nd down and 1. Still split to the top of your screen. Womack to the bottom.
Look for the shot here on 2nd and short.
McCarthy back. Looks far side. Now he's getting pressured and he's going to be sacked. That's a coverage sack there, back at the 40.
Timeout. And you saw he was looking. He was looking to that far sideline to pump and see if he could take a shot. It looked like the receiver out there was Askins Brooks, but he couldn't get it to him. It was great coverage out there. Looked like that was both over the top was, of course, Griffith, and it looked like Yalik Carter was out there as well, covering up the underneath.
2nd time that McCarthy's been sacked in the game, and with 1:12 left, Coach Wilson having to take a timeout here. So we're not sure if he has 1 left or if that's it. We know at the maximum he has 1. So 72 seconds left in this ball game. Coming out of the timeout, it's 3rd down, back at the 42-yard line.
Should be no timeouts left for either
Okay,
team.
all right. 3rd down to about 7 for the Hawks. Receivers 2 by 2. McCarthy with Montgomery next to him. Back to pass. Throws it far sideline, and it's over the head of everybody, incomplete.
And it looks like they brought in Wichard.
Oh.
So I think the idea is Wichard comes in when they want to take deep shots to throw.
Okay.
And McCarthy does the rest. But I mean, that's now twice that they brought Wichard in, and they've tried to throw the ball down the field.
So it brings up a crucial 4th down here in this ball game with 68 seconds left.
This is the game right here,
Yeah.
Glenn.
Still split to the top. Receivers are 2 by 2. Womack at the bottom. It's Wichard again. He loads up, throws it down far sideline. Jump ball. Turns the receiver around. It's incomplete. St. George's wants a flag. They're not going to get it, I don't think.
There's a personal foul roughing the passer
wow.
against Appo, and there's life.
There is.
Oh, wow.
Appo quarterback Nielsen had the helmet on, ready to go out on the field, and he turned around and went, oh, my.
I didn't see it. I was watching the throw downfield. That is a crucial penalty. Oh, man. Life for the Hawks, Glenn.
Big 1st down.
Is that the chunk play that they were looking for?
Yeah.
15 yards.
They're going to have the ball in Appo territory down at the 43. But again, no timeouts and 62 seconds to go.
They're going to keep Wichard in. So
yep. Back there with Montgomery.
Threat of the pass, the deep pass is there.
Wichard. Long signal count. Gets the ball, back to pass. Looks on the outback jump ball. Womack over his head, incomplete.
Yeah, he whipped that one in. Good coverage. And, you know, this is one where, again, and this may not, you folks at home may disagree with me here, but Montgomery's shown an ability to potentially break one off. Maybe on 1st down there with Appo anticipating the pass, the linebackers maybe take that false step back. That would have potentially been a good time for a run. Get up, spike it.
Good point, Pat.
But
well, here we go. 2nd and 10. Richard back to pass, look to set up a screen. He does. Catching the ball is Montgomery, but he's hit at the 48 and driven out of bounds.
That ball is fumbled out of bounds, so that's going to stop the clock.
Yep.
But it's a big-time loss, and it's 3rd and 15.
Loss of almost 5 yards.
Looks like Montgomery's down on the sideline.
Well, he had about 2 or 3 defenders on his back riding him out of bounds. And now you see Coach Timpson and somebody else on the staff motioning to the trainer on the far sideline of St. George's, we need you over here. And they're just kind of taking their time walking out to midfield. Coach Wilson now making his way across. So all that, 49 seconds still in the game. You hope Montgomery's not hurt too bad. Hopefully it's something minor that if he can't get back in the game, he'll be back next week for St. George's. He's so much a part of their offense, Pat.
Yeah. And he's had a great night tonight.
Great night.
Touchdown, run. He's got to be over 100 yards.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Well, he had 90 the first half.
Yeah. They got the trainer over there. Yeah, it's Dr.
I have him
Straight
unofficially for about 140 yards rushing.
Yeah.
And then Glover on the other side over 100 yards rushing as well. He has 130, 126. Well, this is taking some time, and it does not look good. I'd say you hope young man's okay.
Well, and you know, he's battled.
They're getting crutches out.
He's battled injuries throughout his career with the ACL. He came back, and it's been such a great start for him.
Gets a nice round of applause from the Appo faithful.
We're going to get him over to his sideline, and, yeah, the crutches are out.
Yeah. Gets a rub on the head from head coach Brian Timpson of Appo. Good gamesmanship here between these two. And we saw that on our weekly Delaware Live show Wednesday night at Buffalo Wild Wings. Everybody that came up and was interviewed, players from both teams, were so well-mannered. They carried themselves well. And they all shook our hands afterwards and thanked us for being on the show.
Yeah, well, every single time that happens, it still kind of, like, surprises me. You know, obviously we do it for these guys. And, you know, they got the crutches, but that is an encouraging sign. Montgomery doesn't seem to really be, you know, he's putting weight on the foot, which is good. Or on the leg, foot, not quite sure. Can't speculate what it is, but.
Yeah, hopefully the crutches were just a precautionary item.
Now, it may not bode well for the last 49 seconds of this game, but long picture, that could be a good sign. Hope everything is well there.
Now, let's see who comes into the game as running back. I would think it might be O'Day Morgan, number 1, or Tay White, number 3. Looks like White's out there.
White out there, yeah. And, all right, Glenn, 3rd down and long here.
Yeah.
Don't have to get it all back on this first play.
Right.
But you got to have a second play ready because you can't spike it. It'll be 4th down if you're short.
Richard stays in at QB. Takes a snap. 2-step drop. He's hitting the backfield. He got the pass off. It's short and picked off by Appo down at the 25.
Incomplete.
Oh, they're going to say it hit the ground.
It did. It was Griffith came up. He couldn't quite get to it. Milam was the guy on the pressure.
Right.
And affected that throw. I don't know how he got that throw off.
I don't know either. I thought Milam had his throwing hand. So the ball does fall incomplete. It looked like for a moment that Appo had a game-sealing INT. But now another 4th down play.
Yeah, and they got to stay off the quarterback here, right? The last 4th down, they gave him the 1st down on the penalty.
Tay White will stay in the game at running back. Richard stays in at quarterback. It's 4th down and 15 at the Appo 48 with 40 seconds left and no timeouts for either team.
Look for number 7, Glenn. You got to keep an eye out for Womack. He's on the near sideline here.
He's a game changer. Richard back, throws, and that one's intercepted by Appo, by Dylan Griffith, number 1. And he's going to run it out of bounds at the 45 of St. George's, but for all intents and purposes, that should seal the deal.
Well done. And look, that's a guy we highlighted early in the game, led the state in interceptions 2 years ago. And how about that? The game-sealing interception for the junior Dylan Griffith. What a statement win for Appo.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
You know, fighting the adversity, your team leader, your leading ball carrier from last year, over almost 1,900 rushing yards, Glenn, last season, goes down for the season. And you come out here revamped with a new approach, passing game mixed in. You got Jaden Glover filling in, and you come out here and you get a win in the first week in the post-McConomy era. What a job by Coach Timpson and his staff and those players out there tonight.
Look at their sportsmanship out in the middle of the field. You got players from both teams hugging each other out there, Pat.
It was a heck of a battle.
Yeah, it was.
You got to have respect for each other after that.
Both teams left everything out on the field here tonight. Appo is going to get the win 19-14. They'll improve to 2-1, and St. George's will fall to 1-2. All right, we're going to begin our post-game show. We'll be back with final stats and scoring plays right after this on Delaware Live, powered by 302 Sports.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Sodell Concepts. Today we're at Thompson Island Brewing Company in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. Come check us out. Located in the Rehoboth Gateway next to Blue Coast Rehoboth, Thompson Island will follow the Sodell tradition of serving beautiful, simple food that will pair perfectly with our fresh homemade beer. Thompson Island is the perfect place to have dinner with your family, enjoy happy hour with friends at the bar, or spend a day in the beer garden playing bocce ball and ping pong. Thompson Island Brewing Company in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, open 7 days a week. See you soon. Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Sodell Concepts. Today we're at Thompson Island Brewing Company in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. Come check us out. Located in the Rehoboth Gateway next to Blue Coast Rehoboth, Thompson Island will follow the Sodell tradition of serving beautiful, simple food that will pair perfectly with our fresh homemade beer. Thompson Island is the perfect place to have dinner with your family, enjoy happy hour with friends at the bar, or spend a day in the beer garden playing bocce ball and ping pong. Thompson Island Brewing Company in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, open 7 days a week. See you soon. Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Sodell Concepts. Today we're at Thompson Island Brewing Company in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. Come check it out.
Welcome to Surf Bagel.
Surf Bagel has served the community in Delaware for over 20 years, providing fresh, hot bagels, breakfast sandwiches, lunch sandwiches, wraps, salads, local coffee and smoothies, and our iconic merch. Welcome to Surf Bagel. We're stoked to serve you.
Welcome to Surf Bagel.
We're back here on the post-game show. I'm Glenn Fraser alongside Pat Gariantes. And our final score here tonight, 19-14 in favor of the Appo Jags. Appo had a 13-7 lead at half, but then St. George's came out in the third quarter, and they used a long drive that ate up about 8.5 minutes of that third quarter. They scored on the last play as time ran out on a 12-yard pass to Womack. Thomas's extra point then gave St. George's a 14-13 lead. They would carry into the fourth quarter. Appo, though, had an answer. With 9:13 to go, a 35-yard pass on 3rd and goal and that was from Nielsen to Dylan Griffith for the touchdown. Conversion failed, but that was the final, 19-14. St. George's was driving at the end, but a desperation pass was picked off by one Dylan Griffith to seal the win. Let's take a look at stats right now. We'll begin with St. George's. 139 yards rushing for Montgomery, and then he went out, unfortunately, late in the fourth quarter. We hope he's okay, Pat.
Yes.
About 40 yards rushing for McCarthy, who was sacked twice. McCarthy completed, let's see, he looks like 11 for 17 for 99 yards. And then Richard came in, completed one pass, and that was for a -5 yards. Total yards, 228. 200 and let's make that 268 for St. George's. All right, now for Appo. Glover, the leading ground gainer, as he had 126 on the ground. Nielsen rushed for 1 yard. He was sacked once for a 7-yard loss, but he passed for 180 yards, and he threw for 2 touchdowns. One of 51 yards to Carter on a tip drill, and a 35-yarder, the last touchdown of the game, to Dylan Griffith. Pat, your impressions of the game here tonight?
Well, everything we anticipated, Glenn. We thought these two teams will be battling out for playoff positioning up here in this class. They played 2 great games last year. The energy was there from Jump Street. On the Appo side, Coach Timpson imploring the student section to get going after the first possession where they went down and scored a touchdown. Heck of an answer from St. George's multiple times. You talked about the impressive day for Cam Montgomery. As you know, on the ground, you saw McCarthy get involved on the ground. Emery Womack made some plays offensively and defensively. It's a good unit over there. They're 1-2, and they got themselves a gauntlet on the second half of the schedule. But this St. George's team is they're not going to be an easy defeat. And
no,
like we said, the response from Appo coming off of what could have potentially really deflated their mindset, losing their leader in McConomy. They haven't done it. They talked about it Wednesday, and they were about it tonight. Next man up. We're gonna go out there. We're still gonna compete and win, and they did that tonight. Heck of an answer from this group, and a lot of different guys stepping up for them.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about player of the game, you could go with Montgomery of St. George's, almost 140 yards rushing. You got to take a look at Glover on the other side. He comes in after McConomy goes down, and he gets a start, 126 yards rushing for him. Great job by Nielsen passing, over 180 yards and a couple of touchdowns. But what do you think about Dylan Griffith? He might have come up with 2 of the biggest plays in the game.
That he did, you know, and he's a leader for this team. He's been a starter since he was a freshman, and he came out here in the second half and was not going to allow Appo to take a loss in this one. The go-ahead touchdown about midway through the fourth quarter, Glenn, and then the game-sealing interception after he almost had a game-sealing interception just a few plays prior.
Right.
He also had 2 huge hits. Came up, hit a nice hit that caused an incompletion on a pass in the second half, and then came up and hit Montgomery, stopped him from getting a first down late in that third quarter with a nice stick. So he was making plays all over the field. So Dylan Griffith, to me, is by far the player of the game here for the First State Orthopedics game of the week.
All right, got a scoring update for you up at Abyssinia. Early in the fourth quarter, Smyrna's on the board. They trail the Sows 14-6 in that game. Smyrna scoring on a 30-yard touchdown pass. Once again, earlier this evening, Tatnall wins over Glasgow 22-0.
I do have an Indian River Polytech score. Right. Indian River 25, Polytech 14.
I thought that would be a good game in 1A, and it was. So Indian River goes to 3-0. Big win for Caravel in a 2A matchup with Laurel, 21-3 down in the Dog Pound. First State Military, how about them, Pat? 3-1 on the season. They beat Seaford 25-13. And last we heard, Middletown trailing 28-7 out in Ohio. And those are some of the scores that we have. Cape winning earlier today, big over Lake by a score 48-7. Now, next week, we got a big schedule for you. 5 games on our platform. The downstate crew with Benny Mitchell. Friday night, we'll have Concord at Milford. And then Saturday morning, they'll have Lake Forest homecoming against the Howard Wildcats. the Upstate Crew, Friday night, will have Caravel taking on Archmere. That could be a good one. And then Saturday, they have Newark at Mount Pleasant at noon. This is next week now. And then the Central Crew, we're going to be at Dover High for a big 3A matchup between Salesianum and the speedy Dover Senators. Looking forward to that one. Pat, any final thoughts?
Just, it's that time of year, Glenn. My final thought, get football back. It's fantastic. And with football being back, I got to give my final thought is welcome back to you, my friend. Welcome back to you.
Thanks. Appreciate it. All right, that'll do it here. Thanks to both coaches, John Wilson and Brian Timpson, and also our good friend and athletic director here at Appo, Chris Muscara. For our broadcast crew, Glenn Miller on camera, Glenn Hiller, not Miller, the band leader back in the 50s, on the camera. Nick Halliday producing, my broadcast partner, Pat Gariantes. This is Glenn Fraser. Final score, Appo 19, St. George's 14, and we thank you, as always, for watching the live stream on Delaware Live, powered by 302 Sports.
The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now there's one news outlet where our story is told. Delaware Live. Locally owned, community-based news. Free to every reader, because Delaware's future belongs to all of us. Quality journalism we can trust to help us take on the day. Delaware Live.